All right, here we go. Salute to Knicks Nation on this Saturday evening, late night Saturday evening, man. Another edition of KFTV's Postgame Live. CP the Franchise, JD Sports Talk on the ones and twos. The Knicks on the final game of the West Coast swing, taking on the Golden State Warriors. And with all the storylines in the backdrop, this felt like playoff-style intensity, man. And this one was a tricky fit because neither team could really find a flow. Both teams kind of locking in on the defensive end, and a winnable game through and through. The Knicks would find themselves in a fourth quarter dogfight, coming back from 9 points down to ultimately tie the game. But in the end, they found themselves searching for crunch time answers and couldn't get it, man. And on the other end, it was the Golden State Warriors who just made the right plays, and ultimately it was Draymond Green who got the last laugh, man. Knicks lose 97-94. Let's talk about it, man. Hit the like button, hit the share button, and subscribe to the channel, man. Call us up on the KFTV Discord. Let us know how you feeling, man, because truth be told, I'm tight. I'm tight, man. I'm tight. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. I'm tight, bro. Like, I had to, this show was kind of delayed. I had to kind of gather my thoughts, man, because this was, in the grand scheme of things, it means nothing in the standings. But I wanted this game, bro. This had me vexed. And out of all the games so far, we've almost made it through the entire season. Yeah, there have been games that I've wanted. Opening night against Boston. The rematch against the Thunder. Even the first one against the Thunder. The rematch against the Cavs. Like, all of those. But this one was personal. And what made it sting even more was that just like the last game against these guys, it was right there for the taking, man. It was right there for the taking. This one even more so. Because Golden State didn't have it in the first half. The chef was going through the motions. You didn't feel Jimmy's impact in this one. It was all there for the taking, man. They tied this thing up in the fourth quarter with 2 minutes and 50 seconds to go on the Mikal Bridges mid-range shot. And after that, 6 straight empty possessions, mistake after mistake after mistake, and brick after brick. Couldn't find it, man. 97-94, bro. Your thoughts?
Well, it was a great Saturday night game, right? It was the NBA got what they wanted.
Yeah.
You got an entertaining game, considering, sometimes the NBA in these primetime games, when you have a star like Jalen Brunson out, the NBA on a Saturday night sometimes gets a little nervous that, are we going to get a blowout? And was this primetime matchup a waste? And so the Knicks responded to that. The Knicks made this a game. The Knicks almost stole this game in Golden State on national TV prime time. So give kudos to the team for fighting, right? Giving effort. And, last game of the road trip, going out with, a strong showing, at least, battling. But with all that said, very, very disappointing result. They had the game right there. There's a lot of reasons why I think this game went the way it did. But the storyline of tonight was Karl-Anthony Towns versus Draymond Green. How would he respond to all the noise on national media, to the comments from Draymond Green, and understanding that with Draymond Green and Jimmy Butler on the floor, you knew Karl Anthony Towns was going to be tested tonight by either Jimmy Butler or Draymond Green. And so I like the response by Towns, but disappointing loss from the New York Knicks.
Yeah, it was disappointing, man. I was vexed, bro. It was right there. And, you know, as you mentioned, with those two guys being the headline of this one and Towns kind of staying away from the get-backs in terms of the war words, but from the opening tip, you saw it, bro. I never seen an opening tip-off so intensely played in my entire life, bro.
Bro, the technique that Draymond used on the tip-off, I was like, wait, why you going, like, you really trying to, like, Draymond Green tried to prove a point from that moment.
Bro, I had never seen an opening tip-off so tightly contested, ever. So from that point on, I was locked in. I'm on the couch. I put my war paint on. I said, okay, let's go. Town set the tone. Pump fake, straight to the bucket, dunk the ball. I said, all right, the big bodega knows what time it is. What got me tight, man, was I saw that third foul coming. I saw it coming. When they started getting into the hand fighting, when Draymond forced the turnover, and then, you know, he goes to the camera, he's soft, so on and so forth. I said, okay, he's starting with the mind games. That's where Towns loses. He can't win that. And then I started seeing the hand fighting. And I told him, sitting there, me and wifey watching the game, I said, he's got to watch the hand fighting because he's going to pick up number 3. Boom. The possession right after that picks up number 3. And so he's out for the first half. I mean, nevertheless, look, they finished the first half down by 1. Like, it wasn't the end of the world. But in this game where I felt like Golden State really didn't have it, like the chef didn't have it, he's battling the back injury. He's older. He's 37. Jimmy's kind of coasting. Like, I felt like the way the bodega was trying to set this tone, the Knicks could have had the lead in the first half if he would have gotten it, if he would have been able to stay out there and stay in a rhythm.
And, yo, I see one comment in the chat said that Cat was, like, soft tonight. It's the only one, but I'm like, wait, what?
Nah, I didn't see that.
What? Bro, if anything, his team didn't come through for him. What are we talking about?
Nah, I'm not. If
anything, Cat showed me something tonight.
Yeah.
If anything, I want every other wing. CP, you know how we talk about the wing situation with Cat, how wings sometimes take him out of the game? How about every other wing, please, say the same thing that Draymond Green said to Cat. Please go at Cat the same way.
Yeah.
Because it seemed like that actually got Cat locked in. And you know how else I know? Cat gave him the business because after the game, when Draymond Green was talking to Lisa Salters, Draymond Green was all talking about.
Oh, he was complimentary, man.
He was complimentary.
He was talking like he played for the Knicks. I was like, yo, relax.
Oh, wait. Hold on, Draymond. Are you being the politician now? Are you giving props? The same Draymond that called him soft? You know what that happens, right? They say that when you know you got cooked. Mm-hmm. When you know you lost a one-on-one matchup. Now, listen, of course, you know, Draymond said we got the dub. That's cool. You got the dub. But Draymond in that post-game interview told you, listen, Cat got a few wide-open jump shots, and if he would have hit those, it would have been a different story. He knew Cat responded every which way. And, of course, just because you see a tweet and a video that shows Draymond calling him soft, so what? Draymond was doing that to try to get into his head. Yeah. He tried to play the mind games, and he tried to do it early, as you mentioned, right from the tip-off. Draymond had a game plan tonight. If there's no Jalen Brunson, if I can take Cat out of this game, then that'll be the difference. And guess what, TP? That third foul could have been the difference because those additional, 4, 5, 6 minutes that he was out, that could have been the game.
That's right.
So maybe that right there was the swing for Golden State. However, other than that spurt right there where he caught the cheap third foul, which, Draymond baited the ref. If we look at the technique he used, he went under his arm and then he just flapped his arms, acting like Cat ain't doing anything. But other than that, Man, Cat showed me something tonight, CP, because he responded. He was talking trash back to Draymond,
Yeah.
and he stepped up to Draymond. And at the end of the day, you saw tonight his just tantalizing talent. Why Cat is such a polarizing player. He showed you tonight why he is that. He showed you tonight why there's so many debates on the way that he should be utilized because he, you talk about the 3-point shot, the drive. He even posted up Draymond, hit the right-handed floater over him. He got offensive rebounds, tip back. Like, he showed you the full arsenal, and he did that without Jalen Brunson.
Yep.
So, to me, Karl-Anthony Towns responded to the moment tonight. And guess what? He also dropped 40-plus on Jimmy Butler last time when the national media trying to act like he was scared to play Jimmy. But Richard Jefferson, they mentioned tonight that he dropped 40 on Jimmy's head last time he was in Miami. But I digress.
Yeah. Well, you could have watched the game, and thankfully for CK2K, we got play-by-play going here because, if you're watching on ABC, all you needed was to hear was Mike Breen. You know what I'm saying? Especially to be with Richard Jefferson, you could put him on mute. Hopefully the future of television has that where, like, you got the broadcasters and you can select which one you really want to hear. You know what I'm saying? Richard Jefferson, he was carrying water. It was ridiculous in the beginning. But I digress. So, we won't spend too much time on him. The closing sequence and what was really the turning point of the game. Tied at 250 with 250 left. Mikal hit the mid-range. And I wish, they would have featured him a little bit more in this game. He did have 14 attempts, 19 points, 8 of 14 from field, 19.6 rebounds, 3 assists. It wasn't a terrible night for Mikal, but I thought there were still opportunities to get him percolating a little bit, especially when, Hart was a complete disaster. But we'll get to that. So 250 left, he hits that. Then, on the other end, Moses Moody gets his layup. He was the X factor tonight for Golden State. I said it was Kuminga, but Moody killed him all night. Then, you had Bridges miss the mid-range. The Towns 3 at that point, I didn't like that one, man. That was a we don't need that 3. Especially when the Knicks, that was a second chance opportunity off of a rebound. You know what I'm talking there. That was a we don't need that 3.
Right. Yeah.
But nevertheless, Golden State comes back. They get the Curry miss layup. They got a 5-on-3 opportunity. They reset. And you had the Curry block on McBride. That's how that possession ended. You still there? You still there? Did we lose JD? Check 1, check 2. All right, we'll wait for JD to get back. So they get the 5-on-3. They didn't capitalize on that. They reset, and then McBride gets blocked by Steph Curry. The next possession, Karl-Anthony Towns gets stripped. They turn the ball over, and he fouls Draymond Green in the process. So Draymond Green gets to the free throw line. He gets 2 more. Then you have the next possession where Mikal Bridges comes down. He gets stripped. They call a foul. And we lost JD. Oh, we got him back. Bridges gets fouled on the strip. The inbounds, they lose the inbounds. And then you had Draymond Green with the icing on the cake. Empty possession after empty possession. And, it's every game's story is different. In Portland, they were able to stumble their way into a Mikal Bridges buzzer beater. And in this one, 6 empty possessions when the game was right there for the taking, bro. It was right there, bro.
I'm going to say this, CP. You could look at it 2 ways. When you talked about that sequence, late game situation, closing the game out. You can go 2 ways with this. You can either say that is the result of missing your captain, Jalen Brunson, right? Like, you could see they're late. They didn't necessarily have a game plan. They didn't necessarily trust each other. That's why you saw the quick pivot threes from Karl-Anthony Towns. It seemed like the first player that felt they were open, they wanted to take the shot right away because maybe they didn't trust the 24-second shot clock in terms of creating a solid shot. So when you don't have your closer, sometimes you resort to, okay, I'm open. I'm just going to shoot it because I don't know what this possession is going to turn out. because we don't have our guy.
Right.
You can go that route, or you can say the coaching could be better in late game situations in terms of play calling, in terms of X's and O's, in terms of putting your team in position to create that shot, go to the right man, be more disciplined. It's a debate, right?
Yeah.
Because maybe you could say maybe Tyronn Lue does better execution, or you could say again we don't have Jalen Brunson. I do think that when it comes to that, they don't have enough experience without Jalen Brunson being in this situation, especially on the road in a tight game. So you can definitely attribute it to not having your closer, and in those situations, and therefore they just weren't able to close it out. So when you go into the situation, CP, as a team that when you don't have your best player, you want to be up going late. You don't want to be down, because when you're down under 2-3 minutes to go, a lot has to go right for your team to pull off the victory.
Yeah, no, you're right. I think the frustrating thing was in the Portland game, they found their target. They went at Klingham every single time. They went at Klingham every single time with the Hart and Bridges pick and roll, and it turned out in their favor. But in this sequence, it was scramble ball. Even prior to Mikal Bridges tying the game, you had Josh Hart taking a terrible mid-range shot with 8 seconds left. Like, I wanted more Deuce. I wanted more Mikal Bridges. I wanted more Towns.
So then maybe it's better. Maybe it's more on the coaching, because you're saying against the Blazers they did it.
Yeah.
But guess what? The Blazers, that's not Steve Kerr, Draymond Green, Jimmy Butler. Like the personnel in Golden State is higher. Is more seasoned, right? Championship caliber.
Yeah.
From the coaching standpoint, from the personnel on the floor, from an IQ standpoint. I mean, you saw Chauncey Billups say, one of the first things Chauncey Billups said in the postgame was, I should have taken Clinging off the game in that last possession. Steve Kerr is not making that type of mistake late in games. So the Knicks were able to capitalize on a young team with still a developmental coach. And then tonight on national TV against Steve Kerr, Jimmy Butler, Curry, Draymond, you see execution. When you play these high leverage games, execution is definitely paramount.
Champs played like champs, Like, give credit. Like, it was personal. Draymond's defense was on point tonight. He was on point. And he got the last laugh on Cat. Caught Cat lacking. Fake dribble handoff. Took him right to the basket with a layup. They hot. I thought Kuminga was going to be the X factor, and he had his moments. But Moody, man, how many sneaky threes did he hit on him tonight? And one of them was definitely OG's fault. He got caught lacking, and Draymond Green, being the vet he was, set that off-ball screen and basically screened both Towns and OG. And that was late in the game, and Moody found his way to a corner three. And then he snuck in there for a layup. Moody was great for them tonight, man. He was really good from start to finish. Yeah, Moses Moody, he finished with 18 points, 50% from the field, 4 of 8 from downtown, 50% from 3. I thought Moses Moody was great for them tonight. So give credit to him. You had the chef. He finished with 28, 7, and 5, a quiet one, because you didn't really feel that. But they were able to pick their spots. They picked on Towns. I think that was that third quarter where it was like 3 straight possessions where they caught him in the drops and like, yo, bro, like it's Steph Curry here. Are you awake? Are you with us? Carl Anthony, it's Stephen Curry. You played in the Western Conference. You know who this guy is. Picked on.
But here's the thing about that, because he had 28 points, right?
Yeah.
Those 2 back-to-back possessions, those are 2 threes. That's 6, right? Where even you saw Richard Jefferson and the telecast there talk about those back-to-back threes on Karl Anthony Towns. So that's 6 points. That makes him that brings him down to 22.
Yeah.
And I say that with his 4 of 13 shooting from 3. I point that out because Deuce was excellent tonight against Curry.
Deuce was great, man. He was my X factor tonight.
Deuce was excellent, man.
Yeah.
All 38 minutes that he played, He was excellent on both sides of the court. But those back-to-back threes that they highlighted, I just don't know, CP, because he's playing his scheme. He's playing the drop coverage. Yeah. So I can't speak to it as much, because what I don't know is you have a scheme as a coach, right? Which is, as we know with Thibs, is the drop coverage. But does the scheme allow you to be flexible as a player to where you can make your own decisions on the court, even if you're supposed to play a certain scheme? In other words, we're playing drop. However, if you see that Curry is the one coming off the screen, forget the drop. Or it's like an option route in NFL football, where a wide receiver has an option route and the quarterback understands, I'm going to run the route based on the scheme that the defense is giving me. And you have that chemistry with the quarterback. Same thing here. Does the scheme allow for the center? Because it could be it could have been Mitch. Mitch could have been the guy.
Yeah.
Right? Cat is highlighted in that play because he's the one that has faced a lot of the criticism in the drop coverage. But is that more of a scheme thing, or does the scheme allow the center, based on who the shooter is, to come out and maybe blitz or hedge on the pick? That's what I don't know. But what I do know is back-to-back plays, they obviously did not play that play correctly, and that 6-point swing right there could have made, was probably the difference in the game, because it definitely was a momentum shift.
It was pretty big, but I think he did. And I think both Thibs and Deuce, because if you saw on one of those threes, Deuce was telling Towns, he's like, yo, step up. And Thibs was saying the same thing. So I do believe that they were trying to tell him, like, yo, come up on the screens, come up to the level a little bit on the pick and rolls. Like, if it goes to Draymond, it goes to Draymond. And maybe he makes a play on the backside. It is what it is. You live with it. But you can't just have the chef stepping in the open threes off of, that's him and Draymond. They do that in their sleep. You know what I'm saying? And for Karl-Anthony Towns, like I said, you've been playing this guy for your entire career, your entire life. You've been playing the chef 3-4 times a year. So there shouldn't be anything new. Check your audio. So, go ahead.
That's where attention to detail is important, because maybe like playing drop coverage in the middle of the court is very difficult, because when a player is coming off a screen in the center of the court, there's so much real estate, there's so much spacing. So at that point, especially coming off a shooter stepping into the shot, that's a easy shot for Steph Curry.
Easy.
So, to your point, that right there is more of maybe an awareness thing with Karl-Anthony Towns, where you have to notice who's the personnel on the opposition, and therefore, play your defense accordingly.
So to everybody in the chat, once again, hit that thumbs up button for you boys, man. Saturday night, late night, tough loss, man. 97-94, man. We tight right now. Usually at this point, we're going to get to the callers. We're going to get to all the callers. Call us up in the KFTV Discord. But there's a lot in this game.
There's a lot to talk about,
There's a lot to talk about on this game.
We haven't even talked about Thibs and Josh Hart.
Yeah. I'm getting there. But, yeah, salute to everybody in the chat. We got to get through everything before we get to the callers. That's usually how I like to do it. Let's cover all the topics of the game first. Shout out to the Rhyme Animal Chuck D, $10 super chat. He says, hated this game. Refs were trash, but I'm not going to go there. He says, Cat gets hacked every drive to the hoop. Once again, Bridges deferred too much. Had Steph on him. Game pissed me all. Precious broken by them DMPs. I'm with the Rhyme Animal there, man. And, hey, let's go to the bench. Let's go to the bench. Yeah, Precious, 10 minutes, one shot.
Great point by the Rhyme Animal.
Terrible defense, 0 points. Mitchie, gassed. I thought this was probably the worst game that Mitch had since he came back. He was gassed. He was definitely gassed. Then wasn't really impactful in this one. Campaign, slingshot wasn't slingshot. An 0 for 4 from this one with a goose egg. And Landry Shamet went 1 for 4 tonight, man. Your assessment of the Knicks bench tonight, man.
Listen, he's our guy. Let's start here. He's our guy. Blockless monster.
Oh, shit.
Blockless monster.
Yeah, absolutely.
We're a little biased over here.
Yeah, that's my guy.
That's our guy. But my man.
Yeah.
What were you gassed off of?
I don't know, man.
Bro,
I don't know, man.
We were talking about We were talking about can he play 6 to 8 minute stretches before he needs a break.
Yeah.
He couldn't play 2 minutes.
Yeah, man. Mitchie was
He
gassed
couldn't
out
play
there tonight, man.
I
can't, JJ saying speak on it. I can't. I don't have any answers tonight, man, for what happened to Mitch tonight, man.
Bro,
They brought him in early. They went Thibs went twin tower look early. 6 minutes into the first. I noted that on Twitter. I said, okay, we're looking at this early now. And yeah, before you know it, he was heaving
I'm not
out
gonna
there.
lie to you as a fan. I'm like, yo, this is your 6th or 7th game. You can't play 2 minute stretches?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
listen, as a fan of me, I was like, damn, is this gonna work? Wait, like, what's going on, man? Like, because it's just very odd. He was laboring a little bit. So, and you know how the Knicks are, like, they're not gonna tell us. But honestly, I'm gonna keep it real. As a fan, the way he looked tonight, it felt like he was like protecting something. He wasn't feeling right.
Yeah.
Because, like I said, it was 2 to 3 minutes. It was like at the 2nd or 3rd minute mark, he's already gassed.
He's gassed. Doris Burke was like, yo, Mitch needs a breather. They need a timeout. I was like, yo,
Doris Burke said that. I look, wait, he just checked in 2 minutes ago. What you mean?
Yeah. I don't know, man. Yo, Mitch, if you're in the IG chat, man, let us know, man. He usually checks in with the chat after the game. Mitch, if you're on IG, man, let us know, man. Hopefully everything is all right with you.
He hit the state of California. I don't know if he went out,
Yeah.
if he ate too much pasta.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. He had Chinese food.
I had to look up the elevation in San Francisco. I was like, is it like sneaky, like Denver sneaky, or like what's going on here? You know?
Bro, it was like, and even the dunk, he didn't even have lift to. There was a dunk, but you know that sequence where OG under the basket missed the layup or the dunk attempt.
Yeah.
Then Mitch came back, he missed the dunk attempt.
Yeah.
He didn't have enough. He barely got up to dunk.
He couldn't get up. Yeah, he couldn't get up, man.
That was strange. Hopefully, it could be just one of those nights, and hopefully he can get back on track. But after Mitch, the bench didn't give you anything tonight.
Nah.
Nothing at all.
Nothing at all.
And you could point to that being the difference. Now, when it comes to Precious, I think he's catching a lot of heat. Why are you even playing him? He shouldn't be out there. Bro, I don't think people, and this should come as an excuse, it doesn't matter. If you don't play basketball, you don't know what you're talking about. I don't think people, CP, understand the different roles that Precious has been asked to play. Forget this season as a New York Knick. I mean, he plays a certain role. He gets elevated into certain minutes when people are out. And now he has consistency. Then he does have consistency once people are out because he gets phased out the rotation. Then he comes in and spot minutes. Then he plays a lot of minutes he doesn't have rhythm, man. So tonight, yes, he looked awful. But I do see the angle of you might get one of these stinkers when the guy just doesn't have consistency in the rotation. And I've always said when it comes to Precious, when it comes to the elite teams, I don't know how playable he is.
He's not there.
Because
he's not there, bro.
good teams scheme him out.
Yeah.
Right? Like good teams, the Boston Celtics, you saw how it was against the Celtics. You saw how it was against the Cavaliers. The Warriors, you can argue if they're to that level, but they have high IQ coaching, high IQ defensive players.
Yeah.
So he's going to be a mismatch to the advantage of the other team when you're playing against those type of coaching or those type of high IQ players. So it's a tough task to ask Precious to come in. And then when Precious is in a lineup with OG at the 2 and he's playing with Josh Hart and Mitch. What do we expect?
And Mitch. You're in
we
trouble,
saw OG
man.
at the 2 tonight with Campaign at the 1 and Hart, Mitch, and Precious.
It's crazy. It was crazy, man. Precious and we're gonna circle back to Hart. Like again, those two guys with a slow pace, you're gonna get exposed. Like those guys got to be running and gunning to have any sort of advantage. But also Precious, I thought his effort was pretty terrible. His defense was also pretty lackluster as well. So we just got to call like it is. But this is the bench. Beauchamp was out. Kolek didn't play. Dorian Wright, Darrell Wright, Delion Wright. Lorenzo Wright, illness. He was out sick. So what do you have? I had people talking about play PJ Tucker. You want to play 40 out PJ Tucker? This is what you got. Mikal Bridges. This is what you have, my man.
You make a good point there. I will say this about Precious. I just gave an argument for you in terms of rhythm, but bro, you can't be coming out like that with like tonight. He showed me the questions about his motor. Yeah. Because it's like I get the inconsistency in the way that you're utilized in your playing time, but it's like, bro, once you come in, you can't be coming in lackadaisical though. Yeah. It's like he didn't want to play tonight.
It's like he didn't want to play.
Like, come on, man. It's like, yo, you weren't ready to play, so that's inexcusable. That's inexcusable.
Mikal Bridges, this is your bench, man. Some nights they're gonna have it. Some nights they don't got it. This is why you play a lot of minutes, my man. This is the bench. This is the bench that Leon left you guys with. This is it. This is it. All benches are not made equal. Tommy Beer, if you're listening. You know what I'm saying? You can't say, oh, play the bench, and then be mad when they lose. And when these guys don't deliver for you. You can't have it both ways. But tonight was one of those nights. The last game of the road trip. It's hard to win. They've been on the road for 11 nights. We'll see what happens on Monday. But this is what you're working with here, man.
Is it me or the numbers look efficient? 8 of 14, 1 of 3, only 3 3-point attempts, 2 of 2 from the free throw line, 19 points. But is it me or does it feel like Mikal just wasn't aggressive enough tonight?
He didn't feel his impact tonight.
Like
Portland.
The numbers look. It's gonna bump his efficiency stats tomorrow when the stats update on ESPN. Yeah,
being
8 of 14 from the field. But and this is what I'm saying. When you box score watch, sometimes it doesn't tell you the true story of the game.
Yeah.
You gotta watch the game. You gotta watch all 4 quarters. You gotta watch every possession. It just felt like it was a very quiet 19, man.
Yeah.
He hit a couple of big shots, but that's the thing. When he hit a couple of big shots, that's when you notice it because you're like, oh, Mikal, where you been?
Right.
It just felt like, and if you notice, especially the way they started the game, CP, they ran a lot of offense tonight through Karl Anthony Towns, especially early before he got in foul trouble. A lot of the action went to Towns. But I just felt like once Karl Anthony Towns picked up that third foul, I would have wanted Mikal to just be a little bit more aggressive. You got Stephen Curry on you.
Yeah.
Bro. And it's so difficult to analyze because he's coming off his Knicks moment, and he has 19 points. He's 8 of 14. And it's like, that's great numbers for a third option. But you're not the third option no more. Jalen Brunson's out. Bro. You're either 1A or 1B right now. And you saw Moses Moody being a 6'5" guard. He gave Deuce McBride trouble in terms of, and that's why they went to Cat a lot early, because you saw Deuce McBride had a little bit of trouble orchestrating the offense, ball handling wise, because Moses Moody was playing tight defense. He was putting ball pressure on Deuce, and the difference in height and length was bothering Deuce, so they was playing a lot through Towns. It's like, it's the awareness of understanding that, seeing that, and saying, you know what, I need to run a little bit more of the action myself. My guy here is 6'1", playing against a 6'5" guard. I got a 6'3" guard on me. Maybe I need to run a little bit of this action through Towns. And it's like, that is what was, it's just the back and forth that you have in this relationship with Mikal, where sometimes you feel he should be just a little bit more aggressive.
A little bit more aggressive.
I think he should have been like that tonight.
Shout out to Jay Peterkin in the chat. I'm not sure if he's a Knicks fan or Warriors fan. He says, Steph isn't as easy to take advantage of as he was a couple years ago defensively. I'm not so sure, man. This is a guy, he's got an injured back. You could tell he's moving slowly, and he's 37, fam. Like, what are we talking about?
You saw when Mikal got by him, he needed the
Easy.
whole team. When Draymond Green fouled him and they thought about challenging him, and Draymond Green went to Steve Kerr and said, "Don't
Right.
foul,
Right.
don't challenge that." As soon as Mikal got by Curry, everybody collapsed because everybody is aware when Curry is in isolation. All the other four guys have to be aware because he's not a great defender and he's older, he's slower. Got to take advantage of that matchup. Got to
now. All right, so before we're going to get to the calls as well, man. Hey, this was a nightmare game for my man Josh Hart. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. 39 minutes, 0 for 7 from the field. Goose egg, 7 rebounds, 7 assists, and got his ass chewed out by his coach. Let's go to the videotape, man, because here we have it in the middle of a dogfight, in the middle of crunch time. Tom Thibodeau and Josh Hart. And Josh Hart getting a series of F-bombs from Thibs. I mean, I think was Thibs speaking for the fan base because I was pretty frustrated with Josh Hart's output tonight. But what was going on there and what's going on with Josh Hart, man? That was interesting, JD. What'd you think when you saw this, man? This was in the middle of the fourth quarter. I liked it. Let's go. Josh, you got to step up. Step up your defense. Shoot the damn ball. Yeah, I'm playing it. Yeah, it's on loop. We even seen it like 5 times already. We going, man. F-bombs, man. Do your job. I need a mind read. I need a lip reader. Somebody send this to John Boy. We got to break this down.
CP, this is interesting, though, because... Like, forget Josh Hart's reaction to the coach. Look at the coach.
Woo!
He was like, I mean, look at the way he's looking eye to eye at Josh Hart.
Yeah.
And he was responding. If you look at everything that Josh Hart was saying, he was going right back at Josh Hart. So it was obvious whatever Josh Hart was saying to him, Tom Thibodeau was not in agreement at all. At all. Whatever Josh Hart was countering with, Tom Thibodeau did not want to hear it. And I wonder if this is heat of the moment thing. Obviously, they have that relationship. So probably, Thibs feels, you see in the podcast how he's always calling Jalen Brunson while they're recording. So he has that relationship with these guys. So I don't think it's more than actual competition and coaching. But actually, sometimes when you have that relationship with someone, you're able to actually tell them how you really feel. Like, bro, you're trash right now.
Yeah.
You're not paying attention to defense.
Bumming it up.
You're not, you're bumming it up. You're not doing what you need to do. You're not doing your job. So that was probably the perfect player that he could express his feelings on. I just wonder from Thibs' standpoint, is this Thibs feeling in the game that this was a very winnable game? Is this Thibs... Because think about it, CP. Thibs has been catching a lot of heat these last couple of days because of the Mikal thing. Is this a buildup from the head coach?
I'm sure.
Where everybody's coming at him, and he's like, all right, now it's on you. You guys got to be accountable because you're not doing what you like.
Yeah.
This feels like a buildup from the head coach where he's feeling a little bit of the pressure, the expectations, and he took that moment and he voiced his frustration with a player that did not have a good game tonight.
Roommates pod, put this up on Picture Me Scrolling. We need a reaction from Josh Hart on what this was about. And then have Thibs call in on Jalen's phone and break this whole thing down for us, what this was about. Because Thibs is seeing, he said, you know what? Oh, the Minutes police got a one-up on me with the whole Mikal Bridges thing. They took this thing all the way up to worst take. You know what I'm saying? So he was feeling like his back was against the wall. So KnicksFanTV had to clap back. He went to Josh and said, yo, listen, man, all y'all complaining. We in here, winnable game. Y'all all playing soft, except for Karl Anthony Towns and the dog OG. I need you, Josh Hart. You're my Swiss Army knife. I need you to get it popping right now with the captain. He's out, mending his ankle. You out here bumming it up. I need you. Right? Like, we a month away. We're already a month away from the playoffs. I need you back, man. You got to lock in. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, any lip reading. The only thing I was able to decipher there is every effing time.
Oh, yeah.
From the coach. So I'm like, every effing time what? Are Thibs, are you saying every effing time that Josh Hart gets beat back door?
Yeah, right.
Are you saying
That's
every,
what I was
every
thinking.
effing
That's
time
what
that
I
you
was
draw a
thinking.
play and maybe Josh Hart throws it to fifth row Mo? Like, who does he throw it to? You can count on 2 to 3 dumbass passes from Josh Hart every game.
Yo.
You can count on it. So I'm like, is that what you're saying when you're saying every time, coach? Because it's something that's frustrating the coach. Because one thing in his whole exchange that I was able to read clearly is the coach
every
saying,
time.
Every bleeping time.
Every F-bomb time. Every family show time.
And the frustrating thing with Josh Hart in these big games, again, just like Precious, with these high IQ coaches, high IQ teams, you saw it against Boston, he's getting neutralized easily.
Easily.
That's a concern if you're a New York Knicks fan.
Yeah.
If you're the head coach, because we talk about when it comes big picture, grand scheme of things, is Josh Hart a starter when this team is a true championship team? I don't know.
Yeah.
But what I do know is when we're playing some of these top level coach teams, the elites of the elites, he is getting neutralized easily.
Yeah.
He's making too many mistakes. He's not disciplined enough. And his lack of attention to detail, he has a reputation of being a very good defender, but I don't think it gets talked about enough. In these games, he's not as strong defensively as his reputation says. He's not as attention to detail as his reputation says. And I do think he is a low-key one of the reasons why in these transition defense, these transition miscommunications, the team seems to be lost on who has who.
Every time. You can't blame JD. You can't blame JB. JB's at home.
He's not here.
He ain't here. And they do it again and again and again tonight. Same thing, bro. Transition breakdowns. Nobody tagging each other. Miscommunication seemed like between Josh and OG on a lot of them. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You saw that one. I think it was OG was the culprit, but you just don't know what type of scheme they play in transition defense, because sometimes teams play man to man. They just go back to guarding who you have throughout the game. Sometimes other schemes allow you to pick up who's closest to you. So if we're in chaos and transition, just pick up the closest guy to you. Everyone pick their man up as you go along on transition defense. It seems like the Knicks don't know what their scheme is. They don't know what their assignment is. Too many times in transition defense,
all year,
we're allowing wide open looks, man. And it's just not good.
Yeah.
But I'll say this. Mm-hmm. Props to Thibs on that, CP.
Yeah.
I'm not so much Thibs fan TV as you are.
Yeah.
You and Alex.
I'm with the coach in lockstep.
But
we need our guy ready for the playoffs, man.
For this moment, for that isolated incident, I give props to the coach. He had enough of Josh Hart. Shout out to you, coach, for doing that.
It's time to lock in, man. You know, put the podcast down and all that. Picture me scroll. It's time to lock in, man. We got the captain trying to get ready. He's on the men, and we need Hart. See, Thibs understands that. So he's in his Phil Jackson mode right now. We're trying to channel that to Hart. We need you to lock in. Now, I don't know if, the lapses on the defensive end. Is it the knee? Is he pacing himself to get ready to ramp it up in the playoffs, as most veteran players do? We'll see when things tip off in the playoffs, April 19th, April 20th, whenever they start out. Secondly, he is getting exposed, as you said, especially in the half court. Because, number one, if he's not going to knock down the three, then he needs to be doing other things. He needs to be setting off-ball screens. He needs to be doing dribble handoffs. He needs to be cutting, moving around so that the defense is not, just ignoring him completely. There's other ways when you can have non-shooters out there in the court and the half court to expose the defense. So maybe we see that in the playoffs and so on and so forth. And last, look, if it's not working, they have a quick safety valve on the bench when this team is healthy. His name is Deuce McBride. If Josh and Mikal are not showing up in big spots in the playoffs, I'm going to the deuces loose, man. Fast. And that's a good option to have, bro, when this team is at full strength. I know that the whole debate, should Josh come off the bench, this, that, and the third, that's not going to happen with Thibs. But I do think we've seen it already with Mikal and Deuce all year, where the coach has been ready. He's been calling Deuce's number to come in for Mikal. It could be the same situation with Josh Hart as well.
CP, here's the thing with Deuce. I think he plays better without campaign.
Yeah. Who doesn't? You know what I'm saying? Like, let's just keep it a bean. It's Tyler Kolek time, man.
So now, because he plays, when he's away from campaign, Deuce is more focused.
He's in the big leagues.
He's more precise. He's more effective. And he seems to play the game possession to possession with more intent. Like, he just knows what he has to do. He's more engaged. When he's playing off Payne, it seems like because of Payne's kind of, loosey-goosey, undisciplined ways, like, it's gonna look good when campaign is hot. But when he's not, it seems like Deuce just doesn't know what he's supposed to do possession to possession.
Yeah.
Like, am I supposed to play off ball? Am I supposed to just sit in the corner? Am I supposed to come to you and get the basketball? Am I supposed to be aggressive?
Yeah.
Like, that mix has looked good in spurts, but it hasn't looked good enough where now, as we, go into mid-March, going into the playoffs, the sample size, I don't trust it. So if I'm the head coach, you have to look at that and look at how are you going to truly utilize this rotation when Jalen Brunson gets back as you get ready for the playoffs, because you have to maximize your players. You have to maximize your rotation. Trade deadline is done. Anybody you sign is not going to be in the playoff roster. This is it. You have to maximize these guys, and Deuce is a player that's very important to this bench, CP, in the playoffs, because look at tonight, prime time. How many times has Deuce proven to us, showed us, he's a big-time player. He plays well in big games.
Yeah.
He hits big-time shots. He's not scared of the moment. He's not scared of his matchup. If you're the head coach, you can't fall asleep on that and just say, you know what? When Brunson's back, we're just going to put him next to Payne. We'll just slide him back into his role. No, if Campaign needs to be out of this rotation for you to maximize Deuce McBride, then you do that. You do what you need to do, because Deuce is a big part of this puzzle, and he's going to be a big part of the rotation in the playoffs.
Bro, you talk exactly. You're talking about defense. You're talking about a shot creator, a guy who can put the ball on the floor, can knock down a three. His mid-range is stepping up again. Like, you could be looking at a playoff rotation. Maybe Cam gets knocked out. It's Deuce, it's Mitch, and it's Shamet. That's your 8. You know what I mean? That could be it. Because Payne's not making anybody better, bro. That's just the bottom line. Like, Payne is instant offense, and if he's not in a rhythm, say goodnight. That's it. That's all you're getting. Flip a switch, flip a coin. If he's on, hey, keep him in. If he's off, see you later. But so you could be looking at that 7-8 man rotation where it's knowing Thibs in the playoffs, 7 of Deuce and Mitch, with Shamet being a wild card pending foul trouble, and Precious being a wild card pending foul trouble with the front court.
But CP, that's fine, because Deuce, with his background, football, West Virginia, everything, Deuce has shown he's in great shape. You can play Deuce a lot of minutes in the playoffs.
Yeah, 100%.
And we won't have a minutes police conversation with Deuce, because Deuce has shown time and time again he can handle that type of responsibility. So, and the thing with Payne that throws this off is Shamet himself gets put in disadvantage, because now Shamet has to play the 3. And we're talking about a 6'3" guard,
right?
On defense, having to defend 6'7" wings. You saw how many times tonight he had to match up against Jimmy Butler because of the way the alignment is off the bench. He's playing the 3 when Deuce is the 2 and Campaign is the one. Maybe you slide, you phase out Payne, you bring Sham into the 2, play him with Deuce. And again, when Deuce has been given this responsibility to be a true guard, he's responded time and time again.
Yeah, salute to everybody in the chat once again. Hit the like button, hit the share button, subscribe to the channel. We're breaking this thing down, man. This might have been the longest we've gone without callers, and my fault to the callers, man. No disrespect. We want to get to you guys, especially the franchise channel members. But this game this was a playoff type of game for me, man. Like I wanted this game, and so I really had to break it down on a playoff type of level. You know what I mean? So, all right, let's get to the callers now. Zach from the West Coast. Zach, go ahead and unmute your mic.
Yeah, what's up, guys? How you doing?
How you doing, bro? How you doing?
I usually don't call up and be vexed, but I'm vexed at this one.
Yeah,
man.
I was vexed.
This
I was
was
vexed, bro. Yeah.
This was like a 4-on-10 matchup. I mean, Hart just looked like a shell of himself. Precious can't find any spot.
Nope.
It was this was a debacle of a loss.
Yeah, 100%, man. Just frustrating, obviously in the standings, like not crazy, not that big of a deal, but just with the storylines. And I was at the Garden when they took on these guys. This is 2 games where I don't believe Golden State's a better team. The Knicks they couldn't close them in either game.
No, like you said, just like you said earlier, this was even worse than the one at the Garden. I mean, this one we had, like, this one we could have easily won had we put together some solid offensive, at the end of the game. I mean, 6 in a row, we couldn't even put together anything.
Yeah,
not one basket.
Tough, absolutely tough, man. What'd you think of Towns tonight, man? What'd you think of Karl Anthony Towns tonight, man?
No, Towns came out hard. I was appreciative of that. I mean, like you said, on that first play of the game, with that fake step drop and then coming in with the dunk, I was very, very impressed with Towns. He obviously came in with a lot of aggression and. He wanted to show something. He wanted to show Draymond, like, there's only so much you can say before I come in with aggression.
Yeah, good points, man. Good points. Were you weren't at the game, right? You stayed in LA?
I stayed in LA, yeah, man. I tried to get my wife to let me go, but my 2 girls were none too happy after I went to 2 games in a row, so I couldn't go up to San Francisco.
Nah, I dig it, man. I dig it. You got to do the family thing, most importantly, man. But you could always, catch play-by-play with CK and then catch post-game with CP and JD, man. So you're still good at the end of the day.
I was simulcasting. I simulcast all the time. I watch the games, and I simulcast on YouTube with CK, so I try to do both.
There you go.
But like I said, though, you can see Mitch is getting tired. He needs some more cardio. He's getting tired.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, hopefully, just one of those things, man, where it just, as he plays more games, he'll ultimately get the cardio he needs. But tonight wasn't his night. It just wasn't there for it tonight.
For sure. But salute KFTV, thumbs up.
Yes, sir.
Subscribe. We appreciate you guys.
Salute, man. Always, man. Salute to Zach on the left coast. Salute to all of our left coast Knicks family, man. If you guys are from the left coast, wherever you guys are from, man, throw your cities, throw your state, throw your country in the chat, and we will shout you guys out, man. Shout out to Zach and the left coast Knicks family.
Shout out to Jay Nicky sending me some of the lip readers.
Yeah.
Online. Sounded like he sent me something where it seemed like,
Send it to me. I'll put it up on a Jumbotron.
I sent it to you on your DM.
Okay. Hang on. Again.
It's a little family show-ish, but it's more of along the lines that, Thibs is defending the fact that he feels he's calling plays on every possession, and maybe Josh Hart was challenging some of the offensive play calling.
Okay.
I mean,
I'm reading it. Hang on.
You see it?
Hang on.
So this is what I'm telling you, though.
Hang
There's
on.
a buildup of Thibs saying, "Yo, y'all gonna stop testing me. Y'all gonna stop questioning everything." You know what I mean?
All right, hold on, man. Let me get this back up.
Shout out to Jay Nicky, man, working for the NBA.
Jay Nicky, Nicky. Good job. Good sleuthing there by Jay Nicky. Hang on.
Great job with the NBA, especially with those graphics.
Jay Nicky, salute to you. Let's get back to this. Let me see. He says, let me see. Yeah, he did. He said I call a effing play every time. Oh, wait a second. Whoa.
Is this Josh Hart defending his mistakes?
He definitely did say that at one point. He definitely did say, I call the effing play every effing time. Family show. I don't know. Is Hart not executing? Is Hart not happy with the execution? We need to break down on the next episode of the Roommates Pod. Picture me scrolling. Throw that up there, man. We need answers. We need answers, man.
What a week.
What a week. We've had a fantastic week, man. It's been fun. It has been
fun.
And
out of all the players going at Thibs, you had Thibs one night.
Yeah.
Now you got Josh Hart.
Now you got
Villanova
Josh Hart.
connection.
Now you got Josh Hart. We're gonna break down the Dolan show of the Roommates Pod tomorrow. A lot of people have asked me to do a reaction show to that, so I'm gonna watch it between tonight and tomorrow, and then we'll break it all down, man. Jimmy D on the Roommates Pod. We'll do a reaction show to it.
It'll be a fun show.
It's gonna be a fun show.
Some interesting things to say.
Yeah, definitely.
Vince Carter thing. I remember my childhood. I was like, damn.
Yeah. We definitely got to get to that, man. Shout out to J Cal, man. Salute to J Cal. Been a while, man. My guy J Cal, franchise channel member, says I wanted this one badly, but what I see from this team is a lot of fight and a deep desire to win. We're peaking at the right time. Shout out to J Cal. Yeah, look, I think they'll be all right going forward, man. But this was just one that I really needed tonight, from this team, but it is what it is. J Cal, $100 super chat. Shout out to J Cal. He says, what's your playoff lineup if everyone is healthy and Mitchie isn't gassed? Well, I think, for mine, I think I mentioned it, man. It's a starting five, and if he's going 7, it's Deuce and Mitch. If he's going 8 right now, I'm not losing sleep if Campaign is not in the playoff rotation. I'm just not losing sleep. So I'll throw Shamet in there for more shooting because they're going to need it, especially if I'm not going to look past Detroit in the first round.
Let's get to the chase.
Yeah.
Let's say expectation is we'll get by the first round.
Yeah.
Right?
And Cade,
now, I'm not saying it's going to be easy. Anything can happen.
Right, yeah, Cade's looking good.
Let's just get to it. Mm-hmm. Second round against the Celtics. That's the collision course. You see the standings. I don't. This team is too talented, as you saw by tonight, that I don't know that they'll lose enough games. Well, Milwaukee has a tough schedule to end. So it looks very likely the Knicks are the 3rd seed. You're going to play the Celtics second round. Mm-hmm. What's your rotation against the Celtics matchup?
I got to throw Shamet in there because I just...
And remember, he said Mitch is not gassed.
Yeah.
So would you dare to start Mitch against the Celtics?
No, I'm not starting him. But I'm getting him in there. You know what I mean? I'm getting Mitch in there, heavy rotation.
So you got the same 5?
Unfortunately, yeah, it's going to have to be the same 5.
Okay.
But, especially if, with the town situation, you're just going to have to gamble a lot, man. You're going to have to gamble. You can't start a game with Tatum getting into a rhythm. So, if it comes down to it and it's Drew Holiday and Derek White's the guys that are hitting from 3, okay, so be it. But I'm not letting an MVP caliber play like a Tatum, just exposing Towns play after play, possession after possession. So I'm blitzing every pick and roll. I'm doubling every pick and roll. I'm damn near throwing him in the 3rd row every possession, and we'll see what happens from there. I'm living it. I'm living and dying with the results. Living and dying with the results, bro. Yeah, going with it, man.
You still didn't answer the question.
What?
Who's the rotation?
Oh yeah, I gave you the rotation. I said.
The same 5. Mitch is 6.
Mitch is 6. Deuce and Mitch.
So you're going 7 against the Celtics.
If I got to go 8, I'm going Shamet because I need a smarter 3-point shooter. I don't just need a Chuck out there just loosey-goosey. I'm going with more responsibility here, more maturity
Would you give any minutes to PJ Tucker in a Celtics series?
Yeah, I would. I would. At the small ball 5.
So you go in 7, and then the next guy you're considering above Campaign would be PJ Tucker.
I'm going PJ.
Ooh.
Yeah.
You know what? Yo, PJ Tucker low-key might be a nice switchable matchup against the Celtics.
Because
now that I think about it.
Because look, I'm putting the dog on Tatum. And if I'm coming with Porzingis, I'm switching those. And then I'm putting the dog on Porzingis. I'm moving him farther and farther back on that 3. I'm getting physical, playoff style physical. Now, look, you got PJ on Tatum. You live with the results, but you got a physical player on Tatum as well. I'm going. You got to get desperate against this team, man. We have no other choice. And then on the other end, if he can give me a corner 3 or 2, you don't have a choice, bro.
And he's a guy that you can just do that. You can just, you know how Precious got thrown in tonight and he wasn't ready to play?
Yeah.
PJ Tucker's not going to do that.
Right.
He might not make a corner 3. He might brick a few of those. But on the other end, in terms of toughness, in terms of energy, in terms of defense, in terms of knowing where to go with the ball, PJ Tucker is not going to be confused the way Precious was confused tonight. That's the advantage of going into into the playoffs with a player of his caliber, of his experience, is with a guy like PJ Tucker, you're only going to be looking for, is he going to hit his open shot? That's it. On the other end, he's going to be locked in and ready to go.
Right. Well, what are you thinking, rotation-wise?
Yo, I'm the type of person that going against the Celtics, I'm trying to do something wacky. I've used that word before.
You have to.
I'm trying to do something that's unconventional. I'm trying to throw the Celtics off. I would honestly consider bringing Josh Hart off the bench. You see, it sounds different now because I know everybody's been used to it because this is the lineup we're going to end the season with. But I'm telling you, in the playoffs, everything's changed. You've seen it time and time again in the playoffs with the elite coaches where game to game in the playoffs, sometimes they switch their starting lineups. Against the Celtics, I would seriously consider bringing Josh Hart off the bench, bringing some of his force off the bench, keeping him away from Kristaps Porzingis, throwing him more against the bench guys, because against the Celtics, Josh Hart has been neutralized very easily. He's not a factor because he doesn't want to challenge a Porzingis at the rim. He's been easily guarded. I would seriously consider that. I don't know that the Knicks will actually do that in a moment. Me, knowing that going into the series, you're on the road in Boston game 1, I'm personally not starting Josh Hart. He's in the rotation. I would seriously consider going with a smaller lineup or going with Mitch, like J. Cal says, if he's not gassed. Again, I don't think the disadvantage CP right now is J. Cal says in his super chat, if he's not gassed. The problem is we're heading to April, and I don't know if Mitch is going to have his conditioning ready for the playoffs. He's played 6 games, and tonight he couldn't play 2-minute stretches before he was gassed.
Yeah.
I don't know if the rest of the month is going to get him into playoff mode to where you can start a Mitch and trust that you can go 6 minutes without him being gassed. This is where the Knicks are at a disadvantage because his injury came so late in the season.
True.
That may cripple the Knicks into having to still start Josh Hart, although the coaching staff and the organization may not feel that's the best option.
Hey, hang on. Right on time. Shout out to Mitchie. He called you out, JD. He said he ain't gassed. So shout out to Mitchie. I told you he was going to show up in the IG chat.
What?
Mitch is in the IG chat right now.
Whoa. Let's go,
The
Mitch.
Block That sponsor said, hell nah, I'm not gassed. Mitch, talk to us, man. I don't know, Mitch, man. Like,
Mitch is the funniest dude. He
like
says I'm not gassed.
It looked like he was out of breath.
Gassed.
It looked like he was out of breath in this one, Mitch. So we just try to figure out, how long it's going to take you to get your conditioning up. Mitch, talk to us, man. Send us a message in the IG chat and let us know how you feeling, man. You know what I'm saying? That's just what we saw. That was our observation, G. I told you he was going to come through. I told you Mitch was going to pull up, man. Mitch is tapped in with Postgame Live at the #1 show for the fans by the fans. Yeah, I thought I was joking. I told y'all Mitch is in here.
Yo, Mitch is hilarious,
yeah.
bro.
He goes, I'm tired AF family show. I got to help left to right. Okay. All right. So he said, listen, he's doing a lot right there. He's doing a lot. He's covering a lot of ground. Okay. So we'll shoot him some bail. Tonight. Shout out to the BlockNet sponsor, man. Let me pull up the IG chat Just to show, the people on YouTube. I told y'all, man, Mitch, he be tapped in post.
Mitch is like, yo, those 16 minutes felt like 48.
Yeah, that's it. That's it, man. So Mitch, man, the question is, if you got to start against Boston, are you going to be ready? What do you think, man? Are you going to be ready against the Boston Celtics? Leave us a comment in the chat, man. Mitchell Robinson, ladies and gentlemen, is in the building. What do you say here? Yeah, he said he's got to cover a lot of ground, man. He's got to cover a lot of ground.
I love Mitch, man.
Yeah.
But come on, Mitch. You get in shape. Come on. Get it together.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah. So we got time. We do have time. We have time, man. So
how many games we got left?
How many games we have left right now? They played 66 games, so we got 16. 16 left.
Just like that.
Yeah. 16 left, man. Yeah, he says he loved big challenges, so he's ready for Kristaps. Mitch said he's ready for Kristaps, man. So there we go. Block that monster talking that talk, man. Talking that talk.
Bro, Mitch, shout out to you. Don't think we not seeing them numbers defensively since you've been back.
Yeah. Yeah, the numbers have been good.
I think you even tweeted that out, CP.
Yeah.
We're one of the top-rated defensive teams since Mitch has been back. I don't think that's a coincidence.
Yeah. No, the numbers are tight. We just needed him out there for longer stretches of time. He did come in early in that first quarter, 6-minute mark. Thibs did go with the 2 twin tower lineup. So I think that is something that, Thibs is going to ramp up. So, Blockness just got to get it right, man. He'll get there. So shout out to the Blockness monster, man. Be safe in San Fran. I guess they coming home tonight, right? Mitch, are y'all on the plane tonight, Mitch? Throw a comment in the chat. Are y'all on the plane tonight? Or y'all coming back tomorrow? Y'all leaving tomorrow early morning? You might be on the plane right now. He says you're right. I do extra work on conditioning when the game is over. I'm gonna get it together, I promise. Okay, there we go. Block this monster letting us know on the number one show for the fans by the fans, man. He's putting in the work to get his conditioning up. So we're gonna give him some time to get right.
Yo, shout out to Mitch. Yo, Mitch.
Yeah.
Mitch giving us a play-by-play.
Yeah, man. Shout out to Mitch, man. That's KFTV, man. That's KFTV fam. Shout out to Mitch. So he's putting in the work.
Yo, he had a nice block on a Curry 3-point shot. I know you saw that.
Yep. Did see that. I definitely did see that. So yeah, man. Shout out to Mitch. Get home safe, and he's gonna have his work cut out for him. I don't know if Khalil Ware is playing on Monday. If he's back, because Khalil Ware did get hurt in the last Knicks game.
CP, another national televised game.
Oh, is it? That Monday game is national TV?
Yes, sir. On ESPN, 7:30 p.m. East Coast time.
Yeah.
On a Monday.
Wow.
It's a national televised game.
Is Khalil Ware back? Yeah, that Mitch Khalil Ware matchup is going to be good if he's back, man. It's going to be a good matchup.
Mitch took him out the second half of the game. Spoelstra didn't go much to Khalil Ware, so
yeah.
It's a good job by the Knicks there. So just got a young player like that. Got to take him out of the game early, and then you'll be all good to go.
Yeah, man. Salute to the Blockness monster, man. All right, let's get to some more on the phones. Tone on the Discord. Go ahead and unmute your mic.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, loud and clear. How you feeling, man?
Still tight.
Yeah.
But, man, oh, man. Josh can't start next year, man. I love him to death, but he can't start next year. He got to be on the bench. Like, just it's too many games like these that overshadow the other type of games. Like when we play like Pistons and Hawks and all other teams, he go crazy.
Yep.
When we play the teams that we actually going to see in the playoffs that we need to beat to win a championship, he gets taken out the game too easily. So he's more of a bench player anyway. I think he's outplaying his role regardless. So that's with Josh Hart. And that Thibs, man, you could timestamp this, man. Thibs is on his last leg. It's too many first Mikal, who would never say anything. Now he's talking about Thibs. Now Thibs and Josh Hart on the bench. There's something going on in that locker room, man. I think he's losing the locker room. That's just my opinion. But I think he's losing the locker room, man, because Precious not playing. I know Precious is mad.
Yeah.
And maybe Mikal was speaking up for the rest of them that didn't want to say anything. Because Mikal don't never say nothing, like, ever. And for him to come out, and the Knicks in general, they never talk to the media anyway. Like, everything is in house.
Yeah, yeah.
So for him to go outside and talk to the media and then make it a big thing, I think Thibs. I think Thibs is on his last leg, man. I think he's losing the locker room because this is how I usually start. They come, it's little things here and there, and then once you start seeing them in games, it's going to keep going forward. It's going to keep going, man. And especially if we lose.
Yeah. And
to be honest, I'm not even sure about the Pistons one right now.
Yeah.
Pistons is a good team. We can't overlook and the Pistons.
No, certainly not, man. They had themselves. Did they beat the Thunder tonight? I lost track.
No, they lost. JB was in the podium. He was complaining about what we all complain about, the fouls.
Yeah, he always does.
Yeah.
Okay.
But, yeah, they lost.
All right.
Shea had 48.
Yeah, I never look at player coach friction as anything crazy. Richard Jefferson immediately, that was one smart thing he said when on the telecast. He immediately downplayed that, and that's one thing I would trust from a player perspective. But we're not in the huddle, and we don't know what else is going on behind the scenes. So to your point, Tone, maybe you're right. I don't see it as a big deal on the surface, but who knows? Who knows what could be going on behind the scenes? And this is pressure cooker time. This is money time. Money time is coming up. And so Thibs is feeling it. The players are feeling it. It's real. It's real, man. All right, Tone, appreciate the call, man. All right, that's Tone on the Discord, JD. All right. So to everybody in the chat, man, let me hit the reset button. Knicks lose 97-94 against the Warriors. A tough loss in crunch time. Shout out to Karl Anthony Towns. He led the way with 29 points, 12 rebounds, 3 assists. JD, we didn't really talk about the Dogs' effort tonight, man. 23 points, 9 rebounds, 3 steals. Fell down about 10 times. He had about 10 drops. But you know what? I liked how aggressive he was. He attacked the basket. And I've been saying this all year. Like, when he gets to the half court, he's the most reliable player when it comes to attacking the basket. Like it or not. It's the dog, man.
I get why he thinks. You see how we've heard this rumblings about, OG and his involvement in the offense, rumblings dating back to his Toronto Raptors days. Mm-hmm. I see why. Because I tweeted tonight, CP, that if OG Anunoby had more fluidity, coordination, and polish in his game, he would be a top 15 NBA player.
Sure.
Especially if he had those skill sets around the rim. Because I tell you one thing, Jimmy Butler couldn't do anything with him.
He was bullying Jimmy tonight.
On both ends.
He was bullying him, bro.
On the offensive end, OG could do whatever he wanted once he attacked Jimmy Butler at the right angle. He couldn't do anything with OG Anunoby. On the other end, Jimmy Butler needed screen after screen to just get into the lane because he could never do it one-on-one against OG Anunoby. OG Anunoby's too strong for him. And I also tweeted that only maybe Aaron Gordon and LeBron James may be the only 2 other quote-unquote small forward wings that are stronger when we talk about pure brute strength.
Yeah.
Stronger than OG Anunoby. Aaron Gordon and LeBron James are probably the only 2 that are stronger than him, which alludes to the point of if OG just had better coordination, bro, he could be a top player in this league, man, because when he has the right angles, he's unstoppable around the rim.
Yeah.
He just doesn't have that additional lift. He can't finish around the rim, and he's always clumsy. He's always doing these weird, like, it's like, I think it's you, shooting the layups. CP. I don't know. Seems like it's you. Because I'm like, what is this? He throws these little weird layups, little weird angles. It's like, what are you doing?
Hey, it was
and
working.
Like,
it was
he's
working
always
tonight, though.
Yelling. He's always yelling around the rim. It's like he's always like, ah. It's like he's always hurt or something. It's like he's always doing it. He's just very odd.
Yo.
Bro, he's an odd player offensively,
bro,
especially when he goes to the rim.
Yeah. And I'm loving it more and more each game, man. Shout out to the dog. Shout out to the dog. He's not playing around out here with Jimmy, man. I mean, he was going at the basket. 15 attempts and only 3 were threes. The dog was getting active tonight and hitting the deck every time. Yo, my man hit the floor every drive. I'm going for the gusto tonight. I loved it. I was scared to death, but I loved it. Yeah.
And I'm telling you that one possession after the exchange with Draymond and Cat, where OG came and he was going like this, right in Draymond's face. He was clapping. Yeah. There was a few possessions after that. He went right at Draymond. And I'm telling you, the way that he did it, that was intent. That was OG trying to be physical with Draymond. And I believe Steve Kerr might have challenged that play where it was a TV timeout. It looked like maybe an offensive foul. Don't recall what was the result of that play. But again, this is more to OG's just physical ability, man. Like 23 points tonight, 7 of 9 from the free throw line, 2 of 3 from 3, 15 shots. CP, this is where he'll have this game, and this is where you hear the reports, the rumblings, where he sometimes feel like he should be more of a focal point of an offensive system. So he's just a very interesting player because he believes he can give you more than what he's giving you. But he does need to just improve in a few areas. But listen, yo, he's balling, bro. He's balling out. He's playing defense. He's playing minutes.
Yeah.
And he's definitely been scoring since Jalen Brunson has been out of the lineup.
Bro, 23, 9, 2 assists, 3 steals, a block, 7 of 15 from the field. I just showed on the highlights a little corner step back 3 that he knocked down. I mean, the dog knew. He understood the assignment tonight. He's like, yo, the captain's out. This is Towns. We got to back him up. And the dog came ready to fight tonight. He came ready to fight tonight. I was looking at cleaning the glass just to see, like, if there was any uptick from last year to this year in terms of his rim attempts and his accuracy. And not really. I mean, in terms of his accuracy, he's shooting 66% at the rim, same as what he was last year. His overall effective field goal percentage this year is a little bit down at 55.5%, where it was 56.7% last year. And then in terms of frequency, he went to the rim a little bit more last year, 43%. Versus 40% this year. Now, rim attempts, I think we also got to look at his drives. Like, it seemed like he's driving more this year with the ball in his hand. That I got to look up next. Whereas, rim attempts could be off of cuts. It could be, off of fast breaks. It could be a lot of things. But I got to look at his drives as well, because it just seems like he's driving the ball a lot more this year.
He's definitely getting more looks at the rim. I don't know if it's more of drives, but I do know that there seems to be a more of a focus. Like he's got a lot of attempts off, like just boxing out his man under the basket, and he gets that pass to get a shot right at the rim. He's definitely gotten that play a lot more this year than last year, because he's been bullying guys under the rim a lot more this season than last season.
So to everybody in the chat, once again, hit that like button, hit the share button, subscribe to the channel. Knicks lost, action-packed show. You got the Block Nest Monster chipping in. We had kind of an impromptu interview, if you will. He's on the IG Live. He's on the gram. I don't know if they in the plane or in the air on the way back to New York. We don't know what's going on, but we had a little impromptu interview with the Block Nest Monster. He said he was a little tired.
That should tell you, CP. It ain't he's commenting.
Yeah,
but that doesn't mean he's the only one tuning in.
Oh yeah.
He might be next to one of the other players. So
that's right.
Goes to show you what's that slogan? Number one show for the
fans by the fans. That's us, man. That's us. That's just what we do here on a nightly basis, man. It is a labor of love for the fans, and this is what we do. Shout out to somebody on the IG side called him Florgy Adenobi. Shout out to that guy. I think it was Yush718. He called him Florgy Adenobi. So shout out to Yush718. Somebody said on the YouTube side, he said OG got the Joe Button layup package. He said he got the Joe Button layup package. So shout out to you guys. And shout out to everybody watching on the Facebook side. Bro Mike, I see you. Juan Carlo, what's good? Benny Wilson, Jimenez, salute to you guys, man. And yeah, man, we keeping it rocking. We didn't even get to the key stats tonight. Let's get to some more callers and keep it going. Okay, Knicks Fix on the Discord. Knicks Fix, go ahead and unmute your mic.
JD, what up, guys?
How you doing, man?
What's going on, man?
Good.
Tonight might have been the angriest I've been all season, man.
Yeah, I'm telling you, I was right there with you, man.
Yeah, it's just I don't know, man. It's just three quick things, man.
Mm-hmm.
The first thing I noticed, you got a Cat playing drop coverage on Steph in 3 consecutive plays, right? And Thibs is right there watching that, and it goes to what JD said, right? This is really the system, right? Because if you watch when he played under Finch, he didn't play drop coverage all the time, you know? The second thing is, why didn't he take out Hart, right? With under 2 minutes left in the game, Hart gave you 0 points. Why not experiment and put Mitch in there for those last 2 minutes of the game? And then the last thing I got to say, man, is if you're not going to play Kolek now with Brunson down, then when are you going to play him, right? Like, Campaign don't play no defense, right? But he doesn't create for anybody else. So he was out there gunslinging, missing everything, man. And what we needed was a shot creator, right? Somebody that could free up shots for create shots for other players. That's exactly what Kolek brings. So, like, if you're not going to play him now, then when? And then this goes to the last caller, man. I think, I don't know, man. I feel like something happened with the team the past week. I don't know if the pressure's on. It feels like Thibs lost that locker room. You know, like, you got Cat walking off at the end of the game by himself. You know, Mikal and PJ Tucker just chumming it up with Draymond. Something feels off, man. I don't know, man.
Yeah,
anyway,
I mean, that part of it, I expected. He took Cat out before the game was over. I mean, what'd you expect Cat to stick around and shake hands with everybody?
No, so I'm saying, like, if I'm one of those guys, right? Like Mikal, what I thought Mikal and PJ Tucker did, they chummed it up, you know, they dapped them up. But, like, they should leave the court with Cat. That's their boy, you know?
Yeah, and this ain't the 90s no more, bro.
I know,
you know
man.
I mean?
But
they probably went to the locker room, got a signed Draymond Green jersey before they left back to New York. Like, that's just how these guys are built, man. Like, rivalries are dead. These guys don't really have that type of beef and static is really not there, man. They had Trae Young rolling the dice on the garden floor, bro. That's all you need to know. Like, it's just a different generation, you know?
Yeah, man. But I'm a head off, fellas. But something just feels weird tonight, man. Like, the team, you know, I think I saw Thibs shouting at Hart like this last year, but not like this. Like, it's something's going on. Anyway, fellas, take it easy, guys.
Okay, stay up, man. Knicks Fix on the Discord. All right, let's keep them coming. Who's this right here? Lefty The Heart. Lefty The Heart. Go ahead and unmute your mic. Lefty The Heart. Are you there? Are you there, sir? Okay, we're going to go Lefty The Heart going once. No Lefty The Heart. Yeah, I saw people making a big deal about the post-game thing. I expected. I expected Cat to leave and not say nothing to nobody. And, yeah, all these guys chumming it up. Like, that's just what it
hear me?
Man. Yeah. What's your name? Where are you calling in from?
Can you hear me?
Yes. What's your name? Where are you calling in from? All right, we're gonna drop this guy off. He's not ready. All right, we're gonna load up on the members lounge. Anthony, go ahead and unmute your mic. Anthony, let's go. Anthony, are you there? Is Anthony there? Going once. Sayquizzy, are you there on the Discord? Sayquizzy. Yeah, you're always ready, man. What's good, man? Sayquizzy, man. Always by the mic.
Today, Deuce had a beautiful game today. I thought he did a great job guarding Curry and scoring on the other end. I thought he did a good job, but like Cat did a good job too going at Green. I think every player should call Cat soft because today he was playing hard. The only problem I got is them picks when Curry. I'm like, bro, step up. What are you doing? That's Curry. I'd rather 2 from Draymond Green than a 3 from Curry.
Right.
Like, step up. Like, he played tight on Draymond Green on the last play when you should have let him shoot the ball. You gave him a layup, but why you don't play tight on Curry?
Yeah.
A guy that's known for shooting the ball. But OG had a good game. I thought he came in clutch with threes, or like when Warriors would go up like 6 or like 7, he'll get to the free throw line and like stop the clock. But that kind of helped us out so they don't like keep running there, get a little break. And in that fourth, like when there's probably like 2 or 3 minutes left, we just looked lost. Like we was playing fast, but just not playing smart. Like it was a play where it was like a 3-on-2. I think Curry was down, and then we slowed it down. I'm like, what are we doing? Like I thought we should have went to Bridges more. Because he ain't really, like, he had 19, but I feel like it was not, like, a big 19. Like, I feel like at that moment, we could have gave Bridges the ball and let him work the same way we did with the Trailblazers. Like, that Trailblazers game, I feel like we seen Bridges a bunch of time pick and roll mid-range. Today, it was not as much. It was just, like, Cat, give him the ball. And Cat was, like, basically just shooting it because it seemed like nobody else really wanted the ball like that. But I thought we should have gave Bridges some plays with the mid-range. Josh, this is another game against the Warriors where it's a bad game.
Yeah.
Last game, he dropped 2 points. This game, he dropped 0. Like, we need that playoffs Josh Hart from last year. And to be honest, I'm not even asking for him to drop 20, 30 points. Like, if he would have gave us 8 points, we could have won this game. He didn't really give us nothing.
He didn't have it. He definitely didn't have it. I'm gonna pull up the Thibs. They had Thibs after the game. Shout out to Fred Katz. Fred Katz made the trip out to San Fran, and here was. I'm gonna pull up Thibs. Hang on, let me just get this going. Just get this going here. All right, here was Thibs after the game on the Josh Hart situation. Here we go.
Words, I would say passionately.
Yeah, I love Josh. You guys know that.
Hang on. So it didn't really seem like he said much, but we'll go to it. Here we go. This is Fred Katz asking Thibs about the Hart situation. Here we go.
Tom, there was a clip that went on the internet and was caught up by the broadcast. Just you and Josh kind of exchanging words. I would say passionately.
Yeah, I love Josh. You guys know that. So just whatever can get us going. Just try to get us going.
Just a passionate moment.
Yeah, that's it.
All right, I mean,
forget all that. Play that Draymond Green clip I just sent you. Play that.
Oh, you got another one? Wait, is this from after the game, or is this a new one?
Yeah, after the game. I just DM'd it to you. Play that.
Okay. All right,
yo, 7-second clip. Yeah,
all right, Quizzy,
we get it, Quizzy. You trying to motivate Josh Hart. We get it.
I see you, Russie.
All right, man, stay up, Quizzy. All right, here we
go.
I
don't know. Draymond Green is on a little tour after the game.
Here we go. Yeah, you probably watched that clip on him. All right, here we go. It's Draymond Green. Here we go. If you guys want to listen to this, here we go.
That was fun. Really fun. It's good to see Cat show up and play like that. He played hard, played well. He's physical. Probably most physical I've ever seen him. Had a little extra motivation, so that made the game really fun. That was great.
You mentioned, Cat, how, you feeling like you had a little extra bit of motivation. Are you referring to, the stuff recently?
Yeah, I saw his answer to y'all. He kind of fed into what everybody else was saying. So, well, that's a good little extra motivation. But, I like battles. So, that forces a guy to play harder and play physical, great. I ain't never seen him, willing to talk. So, I enjoyed that. That was good. That was really good. That was fun. Good for him. Like I said, he had a really good game. So yeah, that was really fun.
Okay. That was Draymond Green. Yeah, shout out to my guy Eugene. My guy Eugene was right behind the Knicks bench, and he said every time Cat hit the bench, he was amped. He was amped for the matchup. He was like, yo, they can't guard me. He said when he picked up the third foul, he was like, yo, I pressed Draymond. Right, he was right in front of me. He didn't say nothing. So, yeah, my guy Eugene was giving me the report from the bench. He said Cat was really up for it. And, yeah, it just wasn't the result. We need
every other wing to, like, we need to use the same motivation. If this is what's going to get Cat going against a 6'7", 6'8" wing, we need to figure out the recipe to get him that locked in.
Yeah.
Because, other than a few plays, he offensively, he was pretty disciplined, man. Like, remember a lot of the frustrating plays that he gives you against the wings?
Mm-hmm.
He didn't give it to you against Draymond like that.
Right.
So it's like, and it's so weird because sometimes a player that talented, sometimes this is what gets you locked in. And then he'll have like a Drew Holiday, he'll be lackadaisical, not disciplined. So it's just the weird thing about sports is that sometimes the player that, like, in other words, a lot of us could have thought that tonight he was going to totally fold against the Draymond Green. This is a guy that's going to talk it out, take you out of the game. And it actually wasn't like that. He actually, rose to the occasion. So Cat needs to look at what he did tonight to get him into this mode. And he has to transfer this into the other wings that don't have the personality as Draymond Green, that don't have the cachet as Draymond Green. He has to look at what he did tonight that was successful and take that into his other matchups, because as long as he doesn't do it consistently, guess what? You play the Celtics, Joe Mazzulla, he's going to test you with a Jaylen Brown. He's going to test you with a Drew Holiday. So he's going to have to take his game plan tonight and, carry that over for the playoffs.
Okay, good points there. All right, back to the Discord we go. Rapid fire. Lefty the Heart. Are you there? Lefty the Heart.
Yeah, I'm there. You can hear me?
Yeah, loud and clear. Can you hear us now?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay.
My only thing was on tonight's game. Cat, I like how he started out for us. He was strong and all of that. Mikal Bridges, I liked how he played for us. Usually everybody was getting on him how he was shooting bad, doing bad on past games, but I think he's starting to do a little better. I'm loving Deuce. I'm really loving Deuce. All I can say was campaign was really trash. When he's trash, he's all the way trash.
Yeah.
And I think that him and Josh Hart was kind of like the main reason why we probably lost tonight. But another thing is, my main thing is with this team is we were so used to playing with Jalen Brunson, depending on him to play hero ball. It kind of reminded me of the time when we had Melo, and we kind of tried to bring everybody around him, but it was still like when it came down to the moments, we always depended on him.
Back to
so now we seeing the fall effect of when he's not there and them little crunch moments, because we always depend on him. Now we're trying to see if the real you know what I'm saying, if it's going to be Mikal Bridges or OG that's going to really step up in them kind of moments when he's not there. But as far as like the game tonight, I feel like we played pretty good without JB being there. If he was there, I think we probably could have definitely won this game. But
we would have watched
him. And them crunch time moments,
if this was the same Golden State that played,
I think he got to step up on that. You know what I'm saying? He's a big dude. He's able to really do a thing offensively, but sometimes defensively, he got to really step up and put that fight. You know what I'm saying? New York, we want to see that gritty and everybody really defend when it comes down to the moments. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, he was good for most of the game. You know what I'm saying? But I think that's my main take for the game.
Appreciate it, man. Are you a new member or you been a member? You just your first time calling in?
Oh no, I was a member before. My membership had expired. I was on this for a while, but I think I called in before when around the playoffs when they had one on my birthday a couple years ago.
All right, got you. Okay, you've been around for a while.
Yeah, I think I had met you one time. We was all out there during the playoffs. Everybody won. I think Larry Johnson was out there.
Oh yeah.
I think I met you when you was going to get some pizza.
Yeah.
Nice talking to y'all, man.
Yeah, man. Call back anytime, man.
All right.
Lefty the Heart on the Discord. All right, Anthony, let's try you again. Anthony, go ahead.
Yo, fellas, what's going on?
How you doing, man?
CP, JD.
How you doing, bro?
What's good, y'all?
Good.
I'm good, brother. I can't complain, man. Tonight's frustrating, man. It's tough to lose a game when, you give up, You know, they shot 40% from the field, 32% from three. I mean, it's tough to lose a game, man. It's frustrating. You know, I love the effort though. You know, we played hard, we fought hard. Those six empty possessions though, including those two terrible turnovers, man, in that last like minute and 15 seconds.
Yeah, that did
Kind
him
of
in. Did him in.
kind of doomed us. Yeah, yeah, for
Yeah,
sure.
yeah.
You know, we just didn't execute. You know, I get it. You know, JB's not there, so you know that we're kind of learning on the fly without Jalen. So, but I do like the contributions from OG, Cat, Mikal, Deuce as well. I think Mikal can still be a bit more aggressive. You know, especially in certain spots, man, where I get frustrated when, he has the ball with 11 seconds on the shot clock and he's like passing the ball to Landry on the wing and just stands there. It's like then we're scrambling, you know. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, loud and clear. Yeah, sure. We listen. I'm
Okay.
listening. Yeah, loud and
Okay.
clear, man.
Yeah, so it's just the one really, really, really frustrating thing, man, was just watching Campaign, Precious, Landry. Just they have no impact, man, on the game at all.
Yeah.
Literally no impact. I don't understand why Kolek doesn't get an opportunity. Like I think Knicks Fix was talking about it. He touched on it. He was preaching. If you're not going to play Kolek now, when are you going to play him?
Right.
You know, Campaign in the last month and a half, the last 23 games has shot the ball 34% from the field. 22% from three. Can Kolek be worse than that?
Yeah.
I don't think so. And plus Kolek has those intangibles, and I watched him a little bit in college. He has the ability to get in the lane, and he's a pass first guy, even though he can finish and hit an open jumper. But he can get guys involved.
Yeah.
So let the kid grow, man. Like I said the other night, let him make his mistakes and let him learn. The game will slow down for him. But tough West Coast trip. It's one game. It's not the end all be all. So let's get back home and get a win on Monday versus the Heat.
Appreciate the call, man. Let's go to the
Yeah,
Rhyme.
man.
Let's go to the Rhyme Animal. Chuck D in the building. Chuck, how you feeling, man?
Yeah, I'm still pissed, but
yeah, me too, man.
I mean, listen, we came out of the West 2-3. I didn't think we was going to do 2-3 right away. I thought it could have been 0-5 or 1-4. So that's the bright side. If somebody looked on the paper, they say, "Damn, they only lost by 3." I saw. Listen, the old school way, when you saw a coach go at a player or a band leader go at his band, Thibs used Josh as a vehicle. Yeah, he was pissed at Josh not showing up. But I think it's also a message like, let anybody else out here, FAFO. And I think that was a message he was telling everybody. Because if you think it's going to be tight now, we going down to crunch time. And I got to ask you and JD, have we been 42-23 any time in the past 10 to 20 years that y'all know of? I think this is the best that we've been since the 90s, 42-23. So all that talk like, he's losing the locker room, he might be fired, he might be out, and we 42-23. I mean, we're doing a lot of predicting. Like everybody got a crystal ball. They Copernicus. What's that other great predictor? Nostradamus and all that.
Right.
We're going to exit the first round. I'm like, slow your roll a little bit. This is a big pressure cooker.
This is pressure cooker time, man. Knicks fans not used to this. OG, we've been in the dark ages for 20 years.
Now listen. If we 0-2 in the first round in the playoffs, then we can start talking about, we can't start like, I saw it unravel when we was in game 26 and I saw this coming. We got to get to those points yet. And so I think when the playoff comes and we go through that first 2 games, then I think a lot of the talk might be legitimate. He's lost the locker room. We know we ain't got the bench. Who knows? That bench communication might pick up with the intensity and all gel together 2 weeks later. We can't make the predictions right now. We treating this like we treating it like the 5 draft picks that we got for Mikal Bridges is gonna be, Wimby and everybody. We had no idea none of this future in front of us than right now. And that's why I'm pissed tonight because I thought we had it. But when you look at it, we lost again to a team that executed well down the stretch, and we just didn't. We don't know each other like that. And we can't go in the past and what this would have happened if Ragu was here, or this would have happened if Randall was here. We can't get into ifs. Right now, it's what we got. We know that there's some players that seem like they did ayahuasca last night in San Francisco and hate Asbury with the hippies and whatnot. They didn't show up, but we 2-3. Hopefully, we had an attitude going in Miami, and then we just got to wait and see. They just got to get the effort. So, bottom line, I just think when you saw Thibs yelling at Hart, it wasn't just Hart he was yelling at. He used Hart as a vehicle. That's an old school tactic. And at the end of the game, yeah, there's all chummy, and I saw PJ, and he's hugged up with Draymond. So I said that's the end of somebody coming in the game that was going to low body block somebody on Draymond. Draymond is the epitome of the way that Josh Hart plays. Draymond is the master of the Josh Hart style.
Facts.
So I think we got what we got. We are who we are, and I feel better since this is what KFTV is about. I feel better since joining the chat and hearing everybody else, give their spiel on it. And here we go forward, man. Let's enjoy the experience. And hey, I think we could be a surprise still. And to be a surprise and be a 50 or 48, like KG say, a 48-win team, and still be a surprise. I'm open for that.
There you go, man. So to the Rhyme Animal, Chuck D. We were all
peace.
Tight, man. I was tight, man. I was tight, man. I was tight, man. Throw some hashtag PE in the chat to salute the legend in here, man. I was definitely tight. All right, JD, let's get to the key stats of the night. As you said, man, 43%. Knicks shoot 43% from the field. Shoot 37.5% from downtown. Conversely, the Dubs shoot 39.8% from the field and shoot 31% from downtown. Still were able to win this game. Knicks only missed 2 free throws, 84.6% from the charity stripe. They won the rebounding battle 49-45. Assist battle, they lost 20-25. They lost that one. But this was, to me, was a major deal. And this started from the beginning of the game, and it got him in the end of the game. 13 Knicks turnovers led to 19 Golden State points. And I think part of the ineffectiveness of guys like a Precious and a Hart was their inability to get out in transition. 11 Golden State turnovers led to only 8 Knicks points. The Knicks also lost the fast break battle 15-9. They won the points in the paint battle 48-38. Largest lead of the night for the Knicks was 5, and for the Dubs was 9 going into the fourth quarter.
And going into your motto tonight of you're tight, you're upset, and then you look at down these stats, and you should be more upset when you look at the fact that the Knicks shot 43%. The Knicks were able to get 3 more shot attempts, 86 attempts, to the Warriors 83, and yet they shot 43% overall to the Warriors 39. The Knicks shot 37.5, almost 38% from 3, to the Warriors 31% from 3. They shot better efficiency from the free throw line. They out-rebounded the Warriors. I mean, they out-offensive rebounded the Warriors. Total rebounds, offensive rebounds, defensive rebounds. I mean, more blocks. All around, the Knicks dominated the stats. And when I look at one specific stat, I look at the fact that they shot 37% from 3, almost 38% to the Warriors 31. However, this is where sometimes the numbers can be a little skewed. They shot better efficiently. However, that's because the Warriors shot 41 three-point attempts. They made 13. The Knicks made 9. So the Knicks were more efficient, but they were 9 of 24. 24 three-point attempts in a 48-minute game versus the Warriors, who shot 41. The inability to shoot or create a few more three-point attempts might have been the difference in tonight. I look at that right there, where the Knicks didn't shoot enough 3-point shots. Maybe from 24. Maybe they shoot 33s. The Knicks are up in this ball game. So to me, it's the inability of shooting enough threes. We've seen it a lot of times this season where they're more efficient than the other team, CP, but they don't shoot enough threes. That has been one of the disappointments of the Knicks this season. And tonight, that's one of the stats that I'm looking at for stat of the night.
Yeah, big one. Big one. Good points by you there. Let's get to my guy, man. Stadium report. He was right behind the bench. Eugene. Mean Gene in the building. What's good, man? Eugene, are you there? Unmute your mic. Click on mute on your microphone. This is the first time using the Discord. We got to hear from Eugene, man. Eugene, if you can hear us, go ahead and unmute your mic. All right, while we wait on Eugene, LD, go ahead and unmute your mic. LD. Oh.
It's goody.
Good.
You can hear me?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, I'm going to keep it short.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think Tom Thibodeau has lost the locker room.
Mm-hmm.
I think what is becoming pretty clear to certain players is that if there is a smart coach on the opposing bench, we don't have the best coach. And I think if you really listen to what Mikal Bridges said, it sounded like it was about minutes, but it was more about scheme and support through scheming. I think it's becoming pretty clear, especially with Jalen Brunson out. It's becoming clear. You said today we were close.
Mm-hmm.
I don't believe any games that we've played against any elite teams, we've been close. The scoreboard might say one thing, but I don't believe there's any elite coach who's ever worried about getting out-schemed or outsmarted by Thibs. I think they do believe that they can be outworked. Like Thibs players can outwork their players, but being out-schemed and out game planned, absolutely not. And I think it's becoming clear to someone like Mikal Bridges, who's been to the finals on a team where ball movement was standard, CP3, Devin Booker, himself, campaign on the bench or support. So he knows this is probably not going to work. So that's probably what he was trying to say when he made his statement. But I think just looking at all the games we played against elite teams and even playing a team like Portland, like playing a team like Portland close, even if Jalen Brunson is out, just shows something is missing with the game plan. And I think that's what's becoming clear to players.
They said it took the Cavs 2 overtimes to beat that Portland team. Portland's playing tough, man. It's NBA, man.
Who? Bro.
Yeah.
Bro, why do you do this?
You just had Bronny and them putting Jokic and them on the brink last night in Denver, man. It's the NBA, bro. You had 68 points between Dalton Connect and Austin Reeves.
Why do you do this, bruh?
Am I right? Am I right? Am I right or wrong?
You're wrong.
Okay.
You're wrong.
Okay.
Because number one, if you actually watch the Nuggets this year, the only reason why the Nuggets have any success is literally because of Jokic. Everyone else is just kind of floating around, supporting a bit. But I'm not shocked if the Nuggets lose 100 games straight, because they don't really have the team that they had that won the championship. I know it sounds like their championship, but if you really look at the statistics, it's Jokic and everybody else just doing something. So if the Lakers are putting up numbers against the Nuggets and talking about Bronny and bro, come on. But you always do this.
My man, Portland lost to the Cavs in double overtime. He's a Kenny Atkinson, right? He's coach of the year candidate. What happened?
CP, swear you're doing this.
I'm just asking the questions here, my man. I'm just asking the questions here. Is this not the NBA? This is what I'm asking. This is not the NBA.
This is absolutely the
because
NBA.
Now you're saying that you're trying to qualify the win against Portland like they should have been down this much.
So then why don't we do this then? Since you want to do that.
Yes.
Why don't we look at the log of games that the Knicks have played close to losing teams and the log of games that the Cavs have played against losing teams?
Okay.
And see if it's like you bring up one game as if we go down the list to look at teams that the Knicks struggled against compared to who the Cavs struggled against, including superior teams. As if the Knicks should be even in the conversation of whatever struggles the Cavs are facing. Like, bro, come on, bro.
Listen, man. Listen. There's a lot of circumstances in this thing, man. These guys are on the road, 10 nights on the road, on a West Coast road trip. Those are not easy games to win, no matter who you play. No matter who you play.
I know what you're saying. I respect what you're saying. But we cannot keep doing this with the Knicks team that is looking to win a championship that spent the most money this offseason. What are we talking about? It's the Blazers.
Okay. All right, man. All right, listen. I'll take myself out of it. Rate that call in the chat, good people in the chat, man. LD's back. 1 being trash, 5 being facts. I'm just presenting an objective, scenarios here for LD to comment on. That's it, man. I'm just a conductor here, sir. Okay. LD on the checking in.
I'll say this, something, and you know me, you know I'm a tough critic of the head coach. So
yeah,
you know my take. I will say that something could be said of the Knicks playing on the road in Portland on a West Coast trip just off the Jalen Brunson injury. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, it's like maybe if, let's say, this team has had a week, 2 weeks of games, the way they're trending now without Brunson, you play the Blazers a week from today, then, okay, maybe we could have that conversation, right? Because you would have had more time to play without Brunson, but it's not as easy as it looks. And as you mentioned, the Blazers have played a lot of teams tight. And at the end of the day, something has to be said for always playing road games versus playing at the Garden. That's just the way it is. You have healthy teams sometimes not show up on the road just because of the whole road factor. That's just, something that's just the reality of the NBA. So, but I'll say this though, CP.
Yeah.
Tonight, a lot of the same things continue to happen. And I tweeted, off timeouts, you name it, commercial breaks, off timeouts, inbound plays. First play after halftime to start the third quarter, the first place to start all quarters. We continue to turn the ball over or have negative plays after a timeout, have negative plays to start a quarter, have negative plays off the teamy timeouts is the same, core of sequence that we continue to not execute. And it's been going on for seasons. To me, that at some point, when you consider that the personnel has changed multiple times, that particular the game has to be coaching. And we've mentioned it. We have to get better at our inbound play calls, our out of timeout executions. First, out of, starting quarters. It's like those plays are either a turnover, a negative play, or a shot clock violation. That I don't have an explanation for.
Listen, man. I just pointed out 6 possessions where these guys, it's late night, it's 1:22 in the morning, where these guys shit the bed. Okay? Mikal, it was Tom Thibodeau out there when Karl Anthony Towns decides to take a 40-footer when you're down by 2 in crunch time. Was he out there telling McBride, throw it in traffic and turn the ball over on the inbounds?
Let's go. KnicksFanTV activated.
Yeah, we back. Was it Tom Thibodeau's fault that these guys got a 5-on-3 in crunch time and they pull it out for a reset and get nothing out of it? 5-on-3. Who else? I got it all written down here in my notes. Let's see. Karl Anthony Towns. I lost the ball, and then I found Draymond Green. Okay. How about this? Karl Anthony Towns, I can't even guard Draymond Green, driving to the basket for a layup. The worst on-ball defender in the NBA. Okay, that's Tom Thibodeau's fault. Okay, cool. I got it. Okay, got it. Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead, man.
No,
I
think the chat is more excited about the fact that it's KFTV After Dark.
I mean, like, these guys.
Everybody's now expressing themselves. Like, oh, wait, family shows out the window?
Oh, it's out the window, man. We're at KFTV After Dark. You got Precious out there bumming it up. You got Campaign out there unleashing the slingshot, bumming it up. Oh, we got to bench Josh Hart. Who are we going to bench Josh Hart for? You want to tell, what's this kid's name? The kid was in street clothes. Now we want to go to PJ Tucker, the 40-year-old, to come save us in this Dubs game. They had it. They shit the bed tonight. In the Portland game, hey, they found the guy. Go after Klingham. And they dissected him. They got it done. You had Josh Hart traveling on the baseline. That's Thibs' fault now. A veteran, that's probably why he chewed him out tonight. He said, you remember that, Josh Hart? What do you remember Portland? And you got the nerve to be talking to me? Clean up your act.
After you just went off, you probably ready for bed.
Oh, I've been ready, man. I'm tired as hell, man. I got to get up at like 7 o'clock, man.
CP just gave you everything he had left of the night.
Yeah. I told you, Karl Anthony Towns, get up on Steph Curry on the pick and roll. Deuce exposed him. What happened? Deuce said, bro, you got to come up on the line. And he's still doing the same thing, like it's brand new. You've been in the league 10 plus years, and you've been seeing this guy 4 times a year. You don't know what to do?
Keep going, CP.
I got the notes right here, man. 6 empty possessions where these guys did nothing in crunch time. This is why for the people complaining about the captain, he's hogging the ball. This is why he's hogging the ball. Because nobody else has got it up here except for the captain, Jalen Brunson.
You got a water bottle near you?
What's that?
Got a water bottle near you?
Nah, I'm all out of water. I'm out of wine. I'm out of everything. I can't even get to the scotch right now. Yeah. What else? This is that type of game, man. This is that type of game, man.
Yeah. This game hit a nerve.
Yeah.
Definitely hit a nerve.
We'll be back on Monday, though, man. Eugene, are you there on the Discord? Eugene, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. You can hear me?
Yes. Stadium report, man. Let's talk about it, man. How you feel, man? My guy Eugene out there in San Francisco was behind the Knicks bench. Talk to us, bro.
All right, look.
Yeah.
I got to go back to Brooklyn, Eugene, Brownsville. I was heated.
Yeah.
I was heated. And it was intense from the tip off. You know, you get the tip off, you could feel the energy. And Cat was talking so much trash. It was good to watch. He had a pretty good game most of the game. There was a couple plays I was a little annoyed. He had Steph Curry on him. He shot a fadeaway, 2. He had Gary Payton Jr. on him. He bailed him out too in another fadeaway. So there was a couple plays, but all in all, Cat played well, and he really wanted to smoke. After him and Draymond had their little tussle, he came back from to the bench, and he was like, all of that talking, you can't say nothing to my face. And so I was like, all right, Cat want to play. So I love that. I love PJ Tucker on the sideline. He was literally being leader PJ Tucker. Something that you guys said, especially JD, you was asking a question about, Cat in the drop. The sideline coaches, not Thibs, but the coaches behind him, they all were saying, Cat, you need to get up. So that's Cat's fault 100%.
Is he listening? Execution, man. Execute. Go ahead, Eugene. You got the floor.
So that's real. But now, CP, I do have a little bit of smoke for you.
Okay.
I don't agree with the Thibs conversation. Now, I've never been the guy that was like, oh, we need to fire Thibs. And I still don't think we need to fire Thibs. But I will say this. You don't know great sometimes when you have good. And the problem is Thibs is good. But when you see other people on the other sideline, and not every coach in the NBA, but there's a few of them, a handful of them out there, that you see them making plays, you see them making adjustments, you see them positioning their best players in the best place to win. Look, Mikal had a great game. He had 19 points. But essentially, he was useless in the places that matter. We shouldn't have had, you're right, Thibs is not his fault we threw away 6 straight possessions. But it is his fault that we was in that position in the first place because we're not getting our people in the right places. Could have had 40 tonight. There was nobody in there that could guard him, but he's taking every shot from the top of the key. He's starting from the top of the key for every shot.
Yeah, but
we're not running no.
However, bro, he picked up his third foul in the first half. He couldn't play. He didn't play the first half. He didn't play.
hear you, but the second half he was fine. We still had him in the same position.
Mhm.
The problem is that Tibbs is not making enough adjustments fast enough. Tibbs is good. He's good. Don't get me wrong. But there's a difference between good and great. And it's just clear that he's just not stepped into that great position yet. So look, I love you guys. I never could catch a game, a live call. So I was happy to get on one. I'm definitely a part of the replay game. I love you. I appreciate you, bro. But Nick fans, TV, keep doing your thing.
Yes, sir. Appreciate the call, bro. I'll catch up with you this week, man. Good to hear from you, though, man.
Same here.
Yes, sir. Saw a guy, Eugene, out there in San Fran representing Brownsville. Never ran, never will, man. Shout out to Eugene holding it down. He was there. I'm pausing the highlights. If you look at the highlights, Eugene was... I'm trying to find the highlights from the Knicks bench. Okay. I'm pausing the highlights right there, right between Rick Brunson and behind Rick Brunson is the big man coach, Mark. I forgot his last name, and behind Mark is Eugene. Eugene is in the blue. Eugene is right there in the blue jacket. So you see Rick Brunson on the bench with the ball head. Right behind him is the big man coach with the gray beard.
I see Mo Cheeks behind Eugene.
Yeah, right. Yeah, Eugene.
Fifth row Mo.
Matter of fact, yeah. Realistically, Eugene and his son is right there behind Mo Cheeks. So he had the vantage point, the man. He was right there the entire game. So he heard everything. He was texting me all the updates. As he said, PJ Tucker gave these guys a little speech with 1 minute left. So that's his role. Kind of the motivator, the coach on the bench. And yeah, there it is, man. Shout out to Eugene on the check-in. Mark Bryant, that's his name, Mark Bryant. So Eugene was right behind Mark Bryant there on the coach. On the bench. On the bleachers, rather. Okay. All right. We're gonna wrap this up. Let's get KFTV Jeff in the building here. Jeff, are you there? Go ahead and unmute your mic. Jeff.
Yo, can you hear me?
Yeah, how you doing, bro?
I mean, how you doing? You all right?
Yeah, I'm good, man. I'm good. I had one more in me before I go to sleep, man. Yeah, I'm good, man.
I hear you. Yeah. So, just a couple of things. We going straight rapid fire with it. You already know the vibes. It's 1:31, and you already got your rant off. I know that. Yes. I know that was like Goku going Super Saiyan.
Yeah.
And you don't got no more in you. Your hair's about to turn black.
Yeah, I got none left, bro.
You expended your limit break. Cat, I don't want to hear nothing about Cat being soft anymore because folks were looking for him to fold in this one. And besides giving you the whole Cat experience on defense, he came to play. He was one of like 6 players that came to play because the rest of the bench, including Josh Hart, had the same points as me, you, and JD. Right? Like the bench was minus 22 in this game. Mm-hmm. We can talk about minutes talk. We can talk about all of that. But if you're putting these players in a position to play and you're giving them decent minutes, they average in like 15 plus minutes and they're giving you no production. And I'm seeing Moody, I'm seeing GP2, all these guys produce on off the bench. You're not gonna win like that. I know you were talking about like the coach and all this stuff, and those last 6 possessions are where the players have to execute. No amount of coaching is going to be able to allow those players to execute. Like at some point, the game is going to be in their hands. I will say schematically, the last time I see the Precious Mitch Hart lineup won't be last enough. They cannot play that lineup anymore, bro. They were playing prevent defense in the second quarter. That's what it felt like with them 3 on the court. Like the Warriors weren't scoring and the Knicks weren't scoring either. So where is that going to get you eventually with teams like the Warriors whose benchmark is 3-point shooting and clutch scoring and doing all of that? Mm-hmm. You're going to get caught behind the 8 ball. They got to be able to maximize the talent that they have. And that's been my one major criticism throughout this entire season. I don't think that this team has been maximized. I just don't. Just in terms of the lineups, in terms of the schemes, in terms of who they play, the rotations. I think that if you trade for Mikal Bridges, if you trade for Cat, You know you're trying to put up a lot of shots. You got to space it out. When they're playing a 5-out, guys like Brunson, guys like Mikal, they'll have those lanes and be able to operate. Josh Hart, you want to talk about accountability. This is giving me Randall vibes right now on court with the lack of accountability, because let's be real. If Bridges had the Hart game tonight, he would have been hugging the bench. He would have been chained to the bench for those final 5 minutes if he put up the stat line that Hart put up. And that's not happening. And this is a frequent thing. I understand Josh gives you the intangibles. He can guard up when he decides to guard up, because he's been having too many lapses this season, but he was a net negative. And at that point, that's where, once again, you go to your schemes and say, okay, if you sub Shamit for Hart, it isn't about the fact that they both aren't producing, but one player, you have to respect their three-point shot, even if they're not hitting it, which is going to open it up for everybody else. So if we're going to have accountability, if we're going to have this across the board, you got to have that for Josh Hart too. Yeah. And that's just what it is, man. I respect him. It's okay to say that Josh Hart stank it up. And it's okay to say that sometimes he may not be the person that needs to close a game. And I think these are the learning lessons that they have to take throughout the season. Guys like OG is hitting his stride at the right time. Like, this dude quietly is putting together monster numbers. I mean, when he drives to the rim, he looks like Luke Cage. If Luke Cage was hooping, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know if that makes sense to you, but it's like if Luke Cage could play ball, I feel like when he drives to the rim, it looks like Luke Cage if he was driving to the hoop. It's no finesse. It's like if it's not pretty, but it wasn't pretty, but it's gritty. If that was somebody driving to the hoop, it would be OG Anunoby. But it's effective. He's scoring, and he's emerging as that third scorer. We're going to need everything that we're seeing from like Mikal and OG and all these guys now without JB. You're going to need this twice fold, 3 times fold when the playoffs turn around. But it's going to take a combination of these guys executing and the coach putting them in the best position to win. And please call back anytime if you're scared of the Pistons. Please. I respect my opponent, but come on, y'all. Call back anytime if you're shook of the Pistons. Call back anytime or root for the Nets, bro. Please.
Yeah. Oh man, bro.
That's what I got, man. You're gonna have to start Wusan though, CP. You're gonna have to, you know what I'm saying? Wusa.
I wanted this game, man. I'm getting ready for money time, man. I felt like this is kind of playoff vibes, man. I just wanted this game tonight, man.
And bro, one last thing, like Draymond, like bro, like come on, dog, come on. He sounds like a guy overall who has some type of moral code, but now this is like getting into cartoonish WWE type heel stuff with what he's doing. Like, even to say that in that clip that Cat was buying into what everybody else was saying, you're the one who said it. What was everybody else? What was everybody else saying? Everybody else was repeating what you said. And all Cat said was, I'm going to focus on basketball. That's him feeding into it? But yet, when you started popping off and telling him to go sit down and he stepped right in your face, you wouldn't even look him in the eye. It's different. If Isaiah Stewart would have put Steph Curry in the torture rack, you would have been on the other side of the bench. Where were you? What's really tough? Y'all not fighting each other, so what's really tough in this league? Like, you trying to bully someone and he put you in a spliff tonight. That's why you have to try to be a politician at the end of the game, because he cooked you. And if you didn't do the whole Harden hand fight on his third foul, he would have dropped 40 easy. And I'm not just saying that because I had a ticket on him to drop 40. I felt the 40 on the way, and the foul trouble was the only thing that stopped that 40. So yeah, man, that's why I wanted this game more than anything, because you knew Draymond was gonna cook up some nonsense either way. But like, come on, man. Cat showed y'all that in the face of somebody disrespecting the team and disrespecting him, he was going to approach it like a man, and he was going to do his talking on the court with his words and his game, which is a lot more than I could say for them folks when Trey was dice rolling, right? Yeah, they came back and won that game, the next game they played the Hawks, but Cat handled it when he saw that man. So y'all got to put a little bit more respect. Yeah, he got to play drop better. I'm not going to take that away. That we ain't going to forget about that. But put some respect on his name. The narratives need to end on him.
Yes, sir. Appreciate the call, man.
Yes,
Shout
sir.
out to
Have a good night,
KFTV
y'all.
Jeff in the building. Like, share, and subscribe. Okay, let's see, man. Oh, man, I missed this. Hold on, we got to end with this. Hold on. They saying, hang on 1 second, JD here. Hang on 1 second. Okay. So let's hear what Shams had to say here. You know, just in case you guys need some colder ice. Let's hear what Shams had to say here on the captain Jalen Brunson. He's on the NBA countdown set. You know, he's suited and booted. Here we go. Here's what he had to say on the captain. Here we go.
Our senior insider Shams Charania joining us in studio now. You initially reported, Shams, that Brunson would be out at least 2 weeks here. Where do things stand now?
Malika, so Thursday marks 2 weeks for Jalen Brunson. Sources tell me it's more of a 3 to 4 week minimum return time frame for Jalen Brunson. That sidelines him through late March, early April. The key for the Knicks and Jalen Brunson is keeping that swelling down in that ankle, getting it lower, and then increasing the mobility in the ankle. They know they need to get him right for the playoffs. That's of the utmost importance. It will be a few more weeks away here for Jalen Brunson.
Okay, a few more weeks for Jalen Brunson, which brings back into the focus a conversation that is always surrounding the Knicks, and that is how many minutes they play their starter.
All right, enough of that. So he said what now? I just, just in case, I don't have any ice in my glass. So for the people at home, who
Did
need
somebody
more.
report that before?
Yeah, just in case the people at home need more ice. if y'all need more ice, because, they just need that. They need to clutch on. What I need to know if ESPN says it so I know that it's real, right? Or if so-and-so says it. But if the franchise says,
the record's undefeated too. And it's
Yo, I'm going to sleep, man. Hit me on outro music, man. Yo, holla at me, JD, man.
Yo, that Josh Hart joke I sent you.
Yeah. Just in case y'all need some more ice in your drink. You go listen to Shams. I'm going to sleep, man. I'm going to sleep, man. Y'all go listen to Shams. Y'all go call Shams for your updates, man.
Yo, does that dude look like Josh Hart or what?
Who? Wait, who are you talking about? Who are you talking? Wait, you sent me something else?
Does he look like him?
Who are you talking about?
I sent it.
Let me see. Yeah, I seen that before. Oh my God, the internet is going crazy, man. Yeah, so man. I'm going to sleep, man. But that was the update on the captain. In case you guys.
Yo, we undefeated, man. KFT sources.
We undefeated, man. Try to tell y'all what's going on. Hey, there it is, man. Anyway, man, great show. Salute to all the chat, man. Salute to everybody. Salute to all the sponsors. Salute to all the producers. Late night show, man. 2-hour check-in. Shout out to Mamba Reina. Says tough loss. Somebody check on Michael White. Shout out to Lloyd Parker Rock Jr. Rejoin the franchise channel members. Shout out to Lloyd again, $10 super chat. He says CPJD, love the energy provided by both Deuce and Towns tonight. This game could be the preview on this year's NBA Finals. Okay, so he's a believer. Okay. Shout out to El Dantastico, $20 super chat. Says the dog had Jimmy Butler in jail tonight. We need a Captain Clutch back ASAP. Let's go Knicks. Shout out to KFTV. Salute to El Dantastico, man. Appreciate your support. Where's Dan from New Jersey been at, man? Haven't heard from him in a while. Shout out to J Cal. Shout out to Michael White, $5 super chat. Says Thibs put the bench in position to fail, period. He knew the lineup of pressures and Mitch can't score. He's butthurt by Bridges' words. Okay. Shout out to LD. Says PJ Tucker, why not call up Tony Allen and Bruce Bowen? Shout out to John Lala, $10 super chat. John, appreciate you. Shout out to Sean Frank. Welcome to the franchise channel member. Shout out to Sean. $10 super chat. S.Po25 says it's time to put the backup dancer campaign back on the bench. It's Tyler Kolek time. I've seen enough. Payne just comes in the game and shoots 5 times in 2 minutes with 0 passes. Yeah. Salute, man. Hoodies Vintage says, anyone ever lead a team in minutes going scoreless? Shout out to Lloyd Barker Rock. Says the Cavs lost to the Hawks twice, the Heat, the 76ers, and the Pacers. Don't tell LD that. Don't tell LD that because it doesn't matter. Shout out to Donald Smith, $5 super chat. Says, Knicks fans, let's relax. We're the 4th best team in the league, and our superstar will be back in our best opportunity since 96-97, man. And there it is. Salute to the replay gang. Salute to IG, Facebook. Salute to YouTube. We'll be back tomorrow. See y'all, man. Peace.